Laredo, take us out.
Take her out.
All right. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Geek out with us live where the nerdiness will thrive. Buckle up and let's go off-world. Toys, comics, pop culture news, movies and so much more. Matthew, Jesse, Curtis, and Sean are your guides on this fun-filled tour. Take flight each and every Friday night. Join the fun and let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Let's go off-world. Hey, hey, hey. Let's go off-world tonight.
Woohoo! It is OffWorld 2.0, 100% less douche. We are doucheless. How is everybody doing? Sean, how you doing, sir?
I am here. I can't complain, and happy to be part of the 2.0 crew as always. How about
There
you?
go. I'm doing most excellent.
Awesome.
Joe, how you doing down there, sir?
Yes, sir. Fantastic. I got to be the Baroness and the promo material, so I'm pretty stoked, man.
Yeah, you were looking pretty good. Yeah,
Nothing
you were
like
looking-
tight leather pants to make a man feel alive. So
I felt pretty good about that one. You know, the picture that I used of you, it's got like you've got that stocking cap on, but the picture like cuts off like halfway up the stocking cap. So I had to like Photoshop the rest of the stocking cap on there, and I think I did a pretty good job. I think afterwards you didn't really even notice. So
no, I didn't notice at all, and it's my picture. So yeah, you did.
Nobody was looking at his face in that picture.
That's
Let's
true.
be honest.
that was the
That
genius
is
of
true.
putting him on the
That
Baroness.
You know. But if you,
Greg, how you doing,
if you ever
sir?
need like a kissy face or anything, let me know. I'll happily send you one.
Gotcha. What's up, Greg?
Just chilling, man. Just here with you guys hanging out.
Yeah,
Worked all day, you know.
beautiful.
Got no work done because it snowed, so nobody really came in to buy a car today.
That's no bueno. Well, we do have a fifth person here. Let's see if he's buffering. Nope, he's in. He's out. He's Chris Kelly. We'll see. We'll see if he comes back. He's having some technical difficulties, and it wouldn't be Chris Kelly if he wasn't. So, he was on. He was on like 10 minutes ago, and he sounded great. No buffering, no nothing, but no camera. And then he came back, and he had camera, but he was buffering. And now he's in and out. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, excited to be here. We've got a few people here. I see the Collector. We've got Eddie out there, Jonathan Hedgehog. Hedgehog's just stopping by and saying hi. So hi, Hedgehog. And we've got Purple Gang. I see Jordan out there. Hey, Jordan.
Purple Gang.
There you go. They had an excellent episode this past Saturday. Did you guys see that this past Saturday? It was pretty fun.
I didn't. I didn't catch it live.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think they're going this Saturday as well. So make sure to check that. I think they're going right after Saturday Day Live. Well, let's talk about some pickups. Anybody got any toys? Sean, you got anything to show?
I finally got some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you
So
got?
let's see. I design magazines, and one of the publishers for Christmas sent me a $50 Amazon gift card.
Oh yeah.
And I was eyeing up Amazon, and then I finally was like, you know what? I need the legit version of the Neck of Dracula, because my daughter got me the one where he's in London, which I still love, no problems. But this is Dracula the way that I think of him. So now I got both versions of the character. That made me pretty happy, and for free with the gift card.
So now you just need the Monster Squad Dracula, and you'll be set.
Yeah, and as long as he comes with the give me the amulet, you bitch face.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the other thing, which I know Curtis is not going to care about in any way, shape, or form, but I got really excited over. I ended up finally getting in the Dark Wolf figure, which I need to open, and I have not had time to open. And it's been driving me crazy, so I'm probably going to do it maybe while we're on the show tonight, just to finally open them up. And
yeah, let us know what you think, because I've heard some good, some bad. I've heard some mixed reviews on it, so we'll
I've heard. I know there was someone in the Cabal that he said that the figure broke on him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then he replaced the body with the Masterverse He-Man, which I was like, that's a sin. What the heck are you doing? But you make do when you have your problems happen. I get it. So, but yeah, I definitely, I think I'm going to mute so that I'm not doing a douche and making too much crinkling for everybody.
All right.
And, yeah. So
well, while you do that, looks like
the other reveals are going on.
We may have Chris Kelly back. Let's try again. Chris, are you here?
No.
Buffering.
I think we got you, Chris. You there now? Okay, now we can. Okay, we can hear you before and not see you. Now we can see you and not hear you.
we gotta get some subtitles from.
It's dramatic.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Which one are we getting this time?
Yeah, we're getting the one.
And delay the subtitles so everything's a little back. You know, so.
Are we getting the one that we can see and not hear, or hear and not see?
Just give us a thumbs up, man. That's it.
Well, while we wait for Chris to be able to hear him, Joe, you got anything to show off this week that you got?
I only got a couple things, but
okay.
I had asked a friend if he had a Mythic Legions head that I needed for a custom, and Mr. Curtis Ackerman sent me 2 figures.
Nice,
including the head that I wanted. But
so you did. So you did get the head.
Kind of you. Yeah. I did in fact get the piece that I was looking for and a lot more. So I wanted to make sure.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to have to separate the head. That was a lot. That would have been a lot of work on my part. So
yeah, and you don't want them to get lonely while they travel. So
right.
You know.
for sure.
And my dog tore down my curtain, so I am going to step out for a second and fix my background.
All right.
And I will be right back. But thank you, Curtis. I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, Greg, what about you? What, you get some toys this week?
I did. I got Ryu, some Jada toys.
Let me embiggen you. Nice.
I also got Fei Long, but I opened him at work and I forgot him at work, so he's still sitting on my desk. And then got some Joe's in.
Ooh, yeah. Very nice. We're definitely going to be talking about those tonight.
Yeah, these are really nice. And not this week, but last week, this guy came in.
Nice. So what are your thoughts on it, since you've already got it open and everything?
It's cool, but it's for the price tag, you know. But it's a cool figure. It's not bad. It fits with Mesco, kind of with Legions a little bit, you know. But it was in the higher end price tag that I would like to spend on this figure. Yeah,
that's kind of what I've heard. Is like that the overall silhouette is pretty nice, but the articulation and the paint apps, especially like I guess my understanding is like the torso and arms and stuff, like there's no paint, right? It's just the whatever molded plastic it's in, so it's like a little shiny. Yeah, so,
a little bit, yeah.
I mean, I get it for, you know, what was it, like $90 or $100, something like
that? Somewhere around there, after everything was said and done and the dust settled, it was around like $90.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's still, it does look cool. It's just, I can see, and that's kind of what I've heard.
If
It's
you're
like
a
people want more
fan,
for money.
yeah, if you're a fan of this character, then it's worth. It's cool. It's a very
Mhm.
cool figure. I don't mind not having it, and I don't mind having it in my collection.
Yeah. Of course, some of us might have got a little spoiled with the whole Valiant Knight. You get used to posing that thing, and then you go back to something like this, and it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it doesn't quite do it. Yeah.
it's not bad. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's not. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's on the higher end for like $50-$60. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but 90. It's
Yeah.
it's on the higher end.
Gotcha.
I
Did
should
you
have
do
never
it
watched the
through?
movie again.
Did you do it through Big
I
Bad
did
Toy
it through
Store? Oh, for Zeta,
No,
you
I
did
did
for
it through
Zeta Ghost.
for Zeta. Yeah. I did the pre-order. Yeah, because I missed
Yeah.
out. I think they had somebody had like a 10% or some kind of percent off, and it
Uh-huh.
came out to like $60 or something like that. But I didn't catch it on that. I didn't even know about that
Gotcha.
till just recently.
Gotcha. Well, Chris,
Yeah,
I
but
do
that's it.
do we have you, Chris? I think we've got you. I can see you. Can you hear us? He can hear us. We can't hear him. Okay. All right. Well,
Nope. So okay. So we can't hear you. Okay, we can see you. So you can
Yeah.
just show us. It's a show and tell. Just don't tell. We'll do
Yeah,
the
just
talking.
show and
That
we'll
looks like a
tell.
McFarlane. Okay.
Yep, that's the new
McFarlane.
Red
Okay.
Tornado, the Target exclusive. Very nice figure.
There it is. That's
Yeah.
the gold edition, right?
Yeah, it sold out really quickly on pre-order, but then it came back up. Last I checked, it was still up there. I picked up one of those as well. They're really nice. I'm sure that's what Chris is saying right now. He's saying this is a really nice figure, and I really like it.
Hey,
tilting
Chris,
and
did you
laughing.
get it on pre-order? Give us a thumbs up on pre-order, or give us a thumbs down in Target.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice. Okay. Well,
So you must have pre-ordered it through Target. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
I got a few things this week, and I normally try to limit myself to 2 things, but I got some stuff in that I was really excited to open, and I'm gonna start with this one because this one I'm not really sold on. So this is the NECA Strongheart, and I loved the figure as a kid. It's not terrible. The articulation isn't the best. He's got these like knees that are really low. One of his pauldrons popped off. I had to glue it back on. The strap on the shield popped off. I had to glue that back on. Like, it's all right. It's okay, but it's not great. So like some nitpicky stuff with it. One of his biceps was locked up, so I had to heat it up, pop it off, start moving it, and then pop it back on. Saw that on Dork Layer's video. He does have a nice review on this, and he points out some of the things that I probably should have watched his video first, because he points out a lot of the stuff that is kind of the nitpicky stuff, like the proportions. Like he's just got this really long torso, and then his knees are like really low, and then some of the articulation just isn't the best. So it's okay. For the price, it's not terrible, but I don't know that this was my first NECA besides Alf that I've bought in a while.
Okay.
And I don't know that I'll be buying a bunch more NECA anytime soon. So,
well, was the original figure proportion like that? Are they paying homage to it, or
not really? No. It's just weird. Like I don't know. And then like the arms don't go all the way down to the sides. Like it like sticks out a bit when you put his arms down. So if you get him into a pose, he doesn't look bad. You can throw him on the shelf. He's definitely what you would consider mythic adjacent, but yeah, just not amazing. So next I've got the new gold superpowers Batman. And this thing like hits me right in the nostalgic feels from that Batman Returns line where they color coded all the Batmans and gave them different armor and stuff. I just think this is really cool. And this is $10, for a $10 figure. This is one that I love the packaging too. The Superpowers packaging is very reminiscent of the the OG packaging. So I actually buy one to keep, and then if I think it's a cool enough figure, I'll buy one to open like this one. So that's a cool one for $10.
I paid $10 just for that clip-on cape.
Yeah. And then here's my my Joe entry for the week. It is Destro. And yeah, this guy's just freaking badass. Comes with a little case with the Cobra logo on it. You open it up, it's got a little like laptop in there and some money, and he's got a little gold pistol on the
Mesco,
side.
right?
What's that?
That's Mesco?
No, this is the classified. Yeah, I saw the Mezco one. I know a lot of people got the Mezco one, but I preferred the classified look. So this is the 03 Destro, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really cool. I really like it, and I'm starting to go down a rabbit hole with these Joes, which we're going to talk about here in a bit. And then,
so
favorite.
I have a question about.
Sure, go ahead.
About that, Curtis, real quick before you move on.
Sure.
So, how are you going to feel if they come out with a version later on that has a vac metal head?
Well, considering they didn't tell me that it's not possible to do a vac metal head, and then come out with one later, I think I'll be fine. But I think we're good. I think we got Chris back. Hey, Chris.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Yeah,
we can hear you and see you. I've got one more thing.
I've been waiting for this all week.
I know.
Like, come on, I got to get in on this tonight.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking about Joe's, and you got like the most impressive collection I've seen.
Thank you.
So I do have one more thing to show, and this is the best one of the week, and it is the Robo with the Space Hog, and this thing is just phenomenal, man. I mean, $70.
I haven't opened it.
Yeah, $70. You get the vehicle, you get the dog, you get Lobo, 2 heads. This thing is just fantastic, man, and it's huge. Like, it is long. And I love the little, the Lobo logo down at the bottom with the guitar and stuff. The base is very solid. Like, this is like steel, the little rod here that holds it up. So it is really nice. It's hollow on the inside, so it's not super heavy. But it's still really nice looking. Like, looking at it, you wouldn't know that it's, hollow. It's got a lot of details and stuff. And, this thing's really cool. I'm really pleased with this. I kind of, when I bought this, I was like, I'm either going to love it and it's going to be great, or I'm just going to repaint that Space Hog for Cosmic. But I love it, and I will not be repainting this. So, yeah,
nice.
That is fantastic. So if you like the character Lobo, definitely go pick yourself up one of those if you can find one, because it's pretty badass. So
I forgot I got it too. It came in.
There you go. There you go. You got to open
Monday.
One thing that's surprising though with that, it didn't come with a card. Like every McFarlane figure that I've gotten, like even stuff that's not DC, has come with a card. And this one didn't come with a card with it, which I thought was weird. I had to double check the packaging.
Yeah,
and
all the cards. I don't want his.
Yeah, well, then I had to ask a friend too. I was like, "Did you get a card with yours?" He's like, "No, I didn't." I was like, "Yeah, it's weird." Like, and it's not that I don't really super care. Like, I just take the cards and I got a pile that I just kind of put them in the pile. So it's not like I put them in a binder or anything special or whatever. I just thought it was odd that everything else that I've ever gotten from them has had a card and not this. So.
That's funny that there's no card now, because I opened Hawkman the other day and it came with this awesome stand for the card, and then I feel like not even giving you a card is like a step in the complete and opposite direction, but Toddy Mac is now charging for the figure
on those premium ones. I think it was Hawkman, Sinestro, Firestorm, and then they did the Wonder Woman like that, where they come with that card stand with the card.
Yeah.
So it's like not only they're doing the card, but it's like, oh, we're gonna let you display it with the figure, and and then this one comes like big chopper and everything, and it's like no card. Like, okay,
they had to stop somewhere. You know,
I guess
big chopper, yes, card.
Yeah, it was weird. So, Chris, now that we got you here, what you got for the week?
So the only thing I got in this week, you know, and I was able to catch what you guys were saying. Yeah, this is from the Target pre-orders, you know, Red Tornado. And you know what's funny? I didn't really know a lot about Red Tornado till my kids collect the Imagine X line. And for some reason, Red Tornado was like their favorite figure. So when I saw this go for pre-order, I said I got to get one, and it comes with the, you know, nice little tornado base. But yeah, this is all I got. I don't know. December was so rough for me that I'm trying to keep January pretty quiet. You know.
I get it. Yeah, I've been like getting. So I've got this one shelf upstairs in my bedroom that's just like the Justice League. It's like a Justice League shelf, and it's basically the characters that I remember from the Superpowers line, just the heroes. So he was one of those. He was one that had a Superpowers figure that he spun around and shit. And so I had to pick him up. And same thing with you. Like, I don't know a crap ton about him. It's not like I've read a bunch of comics with him in it or anything like that. But I just remember, like, there's a nostalgic thing for the Superpowers line, and he fits right in there. And I got that Hawkman. They've got the variant one. Have you seen that? The gold one?
Yeah, I got the darker colored Hawkman. Not the one that I wanted, but the only one I could track down, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for the bright colors, you know? Give me the bright colors. That's what I want.
The exclusive Hawkman has those bright colors like the Superpowers one, but you have to like find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. Well, McFarlane does this thing where they you can put in for the exclusives, like they do a drawing every so often for the gold series ones, and like it's a random drawing, but it's kind of random because if you bought the figure initially in the regular version, you have an increased odds of getting the drawing for the exclusive one. So I bought the regular Hawkman just so that I could increase my odds of getting the good one that I really wanted. So I luckily I got drawn for it, and I was able to get that. And then I took the original Hawkman and I gave it away on Shooting the Shelf. So
nice.
Yeah. So
I like all the superpower look. You know, that's what I want. Patty Mac, give us all the superpower guys. You know.
Yep. And it was weird because that same wave had the Firestorm, and the Firestorm, the regular version, looked like the Superpowers, like it was bright colors and all this and that. And then the exclusive one was like the darker, grittier one. But for Hawkman, it was the reverse. So I don't know. But anyway, but if anybody out there collects McFarlane and you're like kind of wanting an in on the exclusive one, the Gold Series one, go to their website and check it out. They've got a thing on there where you can like sign up for emails and shit, and they will email and let you know, hey, we're getting ready to do a drawing for such and such exclusive. You can put in for it, and then you can go from there. So cool, awesome. So Sean, did you end up getting your figure open?
Yep, got him open.
And
copied that pose. I like that pose.
Oh yeah, you copied Greg, huh?
I copied Greg.
Yeah. Greg knows how to pose a figure. That's for sure.
I mean, honestly,
I got a few.
Yeah.
Well, and now the next thing is the backdrops. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was 70 in the pre-order, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, it's a pretty well put together figure. I don't have any problems with it. Tight joints. I kind of dig that the weapon isn't so solid that you're afraid you're going to break it when you put it in his hand. There's a little give to it, but it's still, it's still solid. And on top of that, I actually like put this down over here, and it started like actually going into the into the covers on my bed because these the points on it are actually really sharp.
Yeah.
But I mean, 70, yeah, it is a little more pricey, obviously. But for me personally,
was it 70 shipped though? I think I think it was 70 before shipping.
It was 70 before shipping, but I got two of them, and the shipping was $15 for the two of them. So it would have been, like 70, 75-ish, 77 maybe. Honestly, I mean, with the amount of stuff you have, like how many multiple hands, you even have a hand that's specific to holding the arrows when you want to have them looking like he's going to shoot an arrow from the bow. The bow has, I didn't even get the bow out, but I saw a review. The Amazing did a review. The bow, it bends here and all. It's actual a string there.
Oh, that's
so then
cool.
You can put the arrow in, and there's 3 different arrows you can choose from to do it, and you got opposing hand to make it like he's about to draw it back and shoot it.
So a few options for hands, some nice accessories,
and then you have 2 other plates for his face, so you can give him different expressions. One's like he's yelling, and the other one's he's gritting his teeth and stuff. So, I mean, detail-wise, I'm pretty impressed with the amount of detail, because I don't even know who's making I know Frazetta Girls is doing it, but I don't know, like, what company they're using to do it. Like, it's not like they're using 4 Horsemen or, Super 7 or anybody like that. So I'm a little in the dark about that. But for the figure, and this being a figure that I always thought it would be cool to have on the shelf, I'm pretty happy with it. So at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's not a bad looking figure, and it sounds like from what you're saying that they included a lot of parts in it. The one thing I would definitely have to do, though, it reminds me of the when Super 7 was doing the classics and the figures all came out shiny. I would definitely have to hit that with a matte spray, because that shiny skin with no paint on it just bugs the shit out of me.
The thing is, like, I agree with you, because I always feel I hate the Masterverse figures for that, because they always look shiny. Like, it literally reminds me of wax, and it makes me just feel like this isn't worth it. But in the case of this figure, it's actually, the plastic is actually really good plastic compared to what it looks like. And for him to be having a little more sheen to him, it makes it look like he's been out there running around beating the living crap out of whatever he comes across in that way. So it kind of works. But if it was a different figure that maybe wasn't as athletic, like in the movie or whatever, it'd be like, matte coat would have been better on that.
Yeah, I think I would just, if I end up getting one, I think I'll just get some like Mr. Super Clear flat and just kind of give it the once over. Just, just kind of take some of that shine down just a bit, not all the way off, but just take it down a bit. But okay, cool.
As an 80s wrestling fan, I can support the shiny torso.
Yeah. You got to oil up.
Just rubbing himself down with baby oil to put on a show.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You got to do what you got to do. So, we're 19 days in the new year. How's the new year treating everybody so far? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah. You got a good. Greg, you doing all right?
It's been a little rough, but I'm hanging in there.
Yeah. And
That's
Joe?
all we can do is hang in there.
Everything's the same. New Year isn't really a thing for me. It just rolled right into the same old stuff. Like,
shit
the work
just keeps going, huh?
the same. Everybody's got the same responsibilities. Like, I mean, New Year is a nice sentiment, but for me, it's not really a thing. That New Year, new me. I kind of liked myself last year, so I don't feel like I got to change.
So it's New Year, old you.
Yeah, New Year, old me.
Kind of, yeah.
New Year, old Joe.
The high spot was hanging Trevor's new calendar.
Got
to do that for the new year. But other than that, everything's
picture on there.
Yeah, everything's pretty much
the snowy picture. Yeah. What about you, Sean? You had a few days off there around the holidays, and then it seemed like you were kind of right back to it. But
basically, the last 2 weeks have been me using a Dixie cup to get the flood waters away because there was like every time I have a deadline at the beginning of the month, it works out well, and usually I have some breather. And then when the 5th comes up, because it goes 25th, 1st, 5th, 10th, 15th, every 5 days. When I hit the 5th deadline, the 5th of the month deadline, I have 3 magazines there. Then I hit the wall, and then the 10th I hit the wall, and then I hit the wall on the 15th, and then the 20th I have nothing. And I planned it that way. But this past 2 weeks, I literally was like, I don't want to do anything right now. Like, why do I have to do any of this? And it was like uphill battles all 2 weeks. Just, I don't know. Like, I don't know what hit me. I just was like, I just want a vacation. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, but I want a vacation. I got through it, but it was not pretty. So I get this weekend off, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, that's always good. Get a couple days, get a refresher. So.
Yeah, get the heck away from Dodge for a little bit and just
we're still dealing with our plumbing issues. Like we're able to use our water and everything, but we've got to get this pipe fixed that's under our living room floor. And so they sent somebody out here to give an estimate, and he like they're gonna have to tear up all the flooring. They're going to have to dig a hole in the ground like 6 feet down and then repair the pipe and then fill it back up with cement and level it out and then do new flooring. And it's like a whole thing. So he did the quote, sent it off. We're trying to see, I guess we'll see what insurance is going to cover and what they're not going to cover. And we'll just have to go from there. So in the meantime, I've been just trying to work on like organizing my shit. Like I've been really working to just straighten my work area and get everything orderly so that I'm more likely to be creative because I just have a hard time working on stuff when things are cluttered and I don't know where things are at. So I had like, it was to the point where I had 3D parts in like multiple boxes. Like I have like 12 to 15 boxes full of different parts. So if I then was looking for a head, I had to try to remember which box it was in, and end up I would go through like all 15 to try to find them, and then like I hadn't sorted my mythic parts for a while. Like all of 23, I didn't sort anything time that I would use a figure and extra hands or head or whatever. I made a custom. I just took all the extra parts and threw it into a box for the whole year of 2023. So then when I needed when I was doing Joe's custom, I needed a pair of those hands from Xenothon. And I'm like, I know I've got 2 Xenothons on my shelf and they come with extra hands. So I know I've got these extra hands somewhere. I just have no idea where the fuck they are. And so, I went through and sorted my paints, sorted my mythic parts, sorted my workstation, like laid it all out, even taped it up so everything has a certain spot that it goes in. And I'm at the point now where the only thing left I got to do is go through like my non-mythic fodder, which that's an undertaking as well. But I've made a lot of progress, and it makes me feel better that because I work out of the living room as far as like when I'm painting stuff. So I don't like if my area looks like shit, the whole house looks like shit, I like that it looks better for that side of it, but it also makes it to where I'll probably do more, painting too. So
right on.
Anyhow.
Hey, Curtis, for organizing, I use these containers from the dollar store. I get these from the Dollar Tree, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're clear. They have a top on them, that closes, and then they stack. Nice. So literally every figure that I get, I have at several of these per line. I put all the accessories in here, and because I can see through it, it makes it really easy to find stuff. But I swear by these things because they're $1. Every time I go to the Dollar Tree for something, dollar store, and I pick a couple of these up, and I've got them all over down here. And, I put them on top of my billies, right? So, if I've got Transformers or Thundercats, up on top is where all their accessories are. It cuts down the time. This is what seems to work the best for me is these little guys.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I was using like even my like when I had a project, like if I had a figure and some pauldrons and some whatever, I would have it in a box, like one of those mailing boxes that the 3D parts companies send out. And problem is, like you said, you can't see anything in it. So if I've got 10, 15 of those boxes, I either have to continually label them at each time I do a custom. Which I had some boxes that would have like, it would have like Old Man Templar, and that would be crossed out. And then it would say like Female Fury Clan, that would be crossed out. Because like as I complete the custom, then I got to cross it out and relabel it for the new thing. And Jesse got me hooked on these like to-go tray, like almost like if you were to order Chinese, where it comes like it's got the black bottom, but then yeah, and you can get like 10 of those at the store for like a couple bucks or whatever. And you can't see through the whole thing because the bottom's black, but you can see through the top, so it makes it a lot easier. But I like what yours, that's pretty cool, especially for $1. And if you can stack them, that's pretty neat. So
all the Super 7 Ultimates, the 1,000 hands, and all the accessories, right? They go right in.
Yeah, all the extra shit that they throw in there that you never actually use.
All the extra shit we used to get. We won't be getting that anymore with that stuff.
Yeah, that's true too. Nice. Well, guys, I put the promo pic on today. I talked about it with the Destro. I'm kind of falling in this classified rabbit hole right now. And it's kind of hitting me hard. Not too long ago, I think it was maybe about 3 weeks ago or something. Stephen Bisciotti got me hooked on this Hasbro YouTube. They've got a YouTube channel where they've got a section for like where they play live G.I. Joe cartoons 24/7.
Yeah, 24/7. Yep.
Yeah, any time of the day, you can just go onto that YouTube, and if they got G.I. Joe on, and you can just sit and watch it all day, or have it as background noise, play it while you're going to sleep, whatever. And I've been just like I'll be painting or I'll be organized or do whatever, and it'll just be in the background. And so between that and then seeing like he did a tour of or like a little video of his shelves and stuff, and I'm like, man, these things are really freaking cool. And I already had a few, like I had the Dreadnoks, I had Serpentor, but I'm like, man, there's just this line is just really cool. I'm really enjoying it. So kind of wanted to talk about that today. Now I know Joe hasn't really gotten into G.I. Joe as an adult, had some when he was a kid. Sean said it's a line that he's been kind of trying to avoid because he can see himself going down a rabbit hole.
Do it.
But I know, we've got
nostalgia.
two other guys here, Greg and Chris. Like you guys are, you got some stuff.
Holy crap!
So we see Greg's there. Let me embiggen him because he's got a little army there.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have been in this for a while now, from just looking at your collections, and what are your thoughts on this line? How it began, how it's going now, the effect that maybe Vala and Action Force has had on the line. All the way up to the we've had 2 HasLabs now, one that they've delivered, one that's yet to be delivered. So just, we'll start with you, Greg, since we're seeing your collection. Like, what are your thoughts on these? Like, you've got a lot of stuff in your collection, a lot of stuff displayed from different lines. Where does this one fit in? Like, how close to your heart is this one?
Classified very close, because I grew up with 3 3/4 inch. So, this was... I was very excited for this to come out, and then they're very dope.
Yeah,
I mean they're great figures. They're like they knock these out the park. They really speak for it. And Valaverse, I'm glad that that's out because that's pushing Hasbro to step up their game.
Yeah, I love that podium you got there for the Cobra Commander. Is that something that somebody 3D printed?
Yeah, I got it on eBay.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I do like that.
And those infantry, they're like $50-$60 now a piece. You got a whole army of them.
Wow, they went up that much. Huh? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're you can on Amazon right now they're 50, but I'm sure we'll see them again. That's one that, damn that mind bender. I've got one coming to me from a friend, and I can't wait to get that because that figure looks badass. So out of everything that you've collected with these so far, Greg, what's been the figure that most has amazed you to get in hand? Just like single figure, not vehicle, but just figure.
Single figure, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Rock and Roll is really dope. I really enjoyed this. Yeah, this one was really cool, and then I like a couple of these. I mean, not this face right here, because I think this was a face that even his mother hates.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Outback is fun.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did a good job with Slaughter.
Yeah. You like the Joe version of Slaughter better than the Action Force one?
Yeah. The Action Force one's cool, just it's a little small.
Yeah.
This one was kind of proportioned perfectly.
Gotcha.
The classified Slaughter is like the cartoon Slaughter. The Action Force Slaughter is probably, Mr. Remus really isn't all that tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I got him at the end over there, and I got another one because he had two versions.
Right. Nice. Yeah, that's cool.
These guys I really like. The twins.
Crimson Twins.
Yeah. I'm a fan of those, but I really like the crimson ones. That set,
the red
was
ones,
really,
yeah.
Yeah, this set was really nice. That's probably like that set was probably my favorite one.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that the Hiss Fire Team set. I just don't. I wish they had the two troopers and not like the dude with the brain thing out, because like I would just, if it was just the two troopers, man, I would just buy the shit ton of those. Yeah,
but that range Viper is sick, man. Even the original color one.
Yeah,
it's cool, but I don't know that I need a bunch of them. Like if it was just the other two, I would probably buy 10 packs of them or something. I don't know, because that black.
I mean, I'm sure people will gladly buy that red and black range from you.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll try to do that.
Oh yeah.
I just love that.
People definitely
black
that
and red.
right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean that set is real killer too, like the rocket launcher.
Yeah,
like that set is a really cool 3-pack too.
I love that effect from
really cool.
The effect from the rocket launcher is really cool. I saw Steven put his on the bazooka character just to make it look a little bit bigger and cooler, and that's a nice little effect that they've got there.
I got a second pack. I just don't have the room to like really get crazy with it right now because there's more Joes coming out.
Yeah,
and by the time I move and have more space for more Joes and mythics and cosmics,
you got too much shit. So Chris,
guys fell down over here. Spider-Man's fell over there. There's so much crazy in here.
So, Chris, I had no idea what kind of internet you'd have tonight, whether you had an ability to walk around. So I did pull up the pictures that you sent me because I just wanted to kind of look at your collection real quick.
Sure.
Because you sent me these pics, and man, I was like, this is just freaking cool. So, so these are the Billy bookshelves, right?
These are the Billy bookshelves with the Morliden glass doors. And actually I have almost all of them have the glass doors up already. I've been working on it, here and there over the last year. So I've got, I think 6 or 8 more to put up. Okay. So this wall here, this is my Cobra wall on the back of my toy room. So this is all modern stuff. I troop built modern really hardcore. So most of the troop builders, I've got somewhere between 32 to 64 of each troop. So, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So,
Wow.
so that, like those bazooka soldiers there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I went in deep.
This shelf
but
killed me. This bat shelf.
Wow,
Oh my
damn.
goodness.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's sick.
I think I'm at like 75 bats or something like that. So.
Listen, so I changed up from Billy's. Like that's what I had before. Like I still got a couple Billy's left, but I've been slowly converting everything to these shelves, these heavy duty shelves, because you could just fit so much more, and you could if you want to fancy it up, you could always get molding. Like that's kind of what I use behind me here too. And this is like going forward, I'm getting rid of all my Billies because you could fit so much more on these for the space that you use. You know what I mean? Like, these just stick out a little bit more. Like in your setup, you have all that extra space. If you got these heavy duty ones, they come out 24 inches.
Yep.
So you'd be able to stick so much more shit and have more space. You know?
Yeah.
See, I got some
actually,
of those
Curtis,
in the garage, Greg, and mine don't look as fancy as yours. I need some tips. I need some pictures of, like you said, the molding, some of the backdrops that you're using and stuff like that, because like mine just look like, I don't know, man. It looks like I'm at somebody's like hardware store or something. You know,
the key thing is the backdrops. Once you put the backdrops in, it changes the whole look of them. You know.
And where do you get
that's what
those?
I need to do.
Like Staples. I give them the measurements and I look shit up online, like HD pictures, and then I just tell them to print out pictures. I use trees, more trees down here.
Yeah.
Or you could just have diodes, like, this is all the crash box.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
just buy 10 crash box diodes to throw back there because everybody has that kind of money.
Come on, you got it. You probably got them laying around on top of your detox.
He was speaking my language. He's like, oh, you just go down to Kinko's and you pay him to.
But even
and then he's like, or just fill it up with crash box diodes at $500 a pop.
But even the extreme sets, if you use the extreme sets, they fit into the, like, you could get them to fit into these if you just position the shelves right,
Yeah.
That's my next thing, Greg. That's my next thing is the extreme sets background. That's my next thing.
So you see how you got all that? If you got these heavy duty ones, you'd be able to fit so much more shit and have more space where it's not just looking like, like kind of how I have these, because I can't wait to get rid of all these Billies and get all these big heavy duty ones just so I can fit more, put little diodes, even the stairs or something like that. It'll look a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's coming together.
Yeah, that's cool.
That Cobra throne I got at Legions Con 2022.
Oh, nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah, somebody had 3D printed that. So
what are the on? Let me pull up your slide again real quick. Like with these bats and stuff. What are these bases that you're using there?
Those are the 25th to 30th anniversary bases that they came with. Here, if you want, I'll walk you around real quick if you want, because this I'm here. It's almost all sure. Joe, right? So starting here, these are all the modern era Joes from 82 to 94. So I got almost all of the club figures. I'm missing like 5 club figures. And they're too expensive to buy now for what it is. So I've got most of the club figures. I got a lot of the iconic vehicles, the snowmobile, the polar battle bear, the shark,
nice.
Most of the tanks down here, a lot of my childhood, like APC, the Vamps, right? This is my Steel Gate display.
That's awesome.
Then I got the October Guard set. This is my corner of disaster that I'm working my way through. Then this back wall is the Cobra wall. So this is Iron Grenadiers, Dreadnoughts, Iron Grenadiers, more guys that have that dark red and gray coloration. This is like Cobra High Command. So this is all of the, the leadership of Cobra. And bats, snow serpents, eels.
Oh, eels. Damn.
Yep. Then we got, this is like what I would consider the Cobra Army. This is like the blue shirts. So we've got black hiss tanks with blue shirt troopers of all different sorts, pretty much all the way down. And then we go over, we've got what I would consider the Cobra Marines, which are like the Vipers. So the blue hiss tanks, different types of Vipers, Para-Vipers. Then I've got some Stingers down here. I got a bunch of stuff I still got to finish packing up. Then we got the Crimson. So we've got some MMSs, the Crimson Copter, Crimson Cat, Crimson Guard Army, Crimson Guard Shadow Guards, Hiss Tank Drivers, Cobra Divers, Red Hiss Tanks, and then we've got some of the Air Force. So we've got
oh my gosh,
Night Landing Raft, Trouble Bubbles, Fire Bats, Strato Vipers. We've got the Cobra Fang, the Moccasins. I've got a bunch more stuff. I have so much stuff I can't even fit. Then opposite that wall, this is
Lynn says, "Where's the Sky Strikers?"
Oh, dude, I'll show you in a second. So
we're getting to that part of the tour.
So this is the Motu Origins wall, right? So I've got, all the good guys here with Castle Grayskull at the bottom, and then all the bad guys. But troop building is a disease, right? So we've got troop built for Hordak, Skeletor, troop built here with the Snake Troopers, troop built all the guys with Snake Mountain, which my kids were playing with.
We need to troop build those Eternia guards a little bit more. You only had like 2 or 3 of them down there.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't do good with those guys. And we've got the flag. So this was a surprise Christmas gift from my wife last year. So we've got the flag with some Sky Strikers. Then over here we've got where Brian Flynn took my money, and this is all because of Stephen Bisciotti, Thundercats, Ninja Turtles.
His name wrong. It's Lion Flynn. So just so you know.
Then we got some multiverse stuff down here, DC multiverse, and then we've got the Transformers corner, which goes by year. So we've got the Dinobots on top because they're just so big, but then we've got Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, some Titans. Then we've got I moved around the helmets. I put the helmets in the quarter, and then the Decepticons there. And then
I like the helmets better in the corner. That is cool.
I've got my
basement.
Masterverse. Yeah, it's a little shy of 900 square feet. And then I've got all my Masterverse guys in there. And then so a little bit of Silverhawks. But yeah, that's the toy room display right now. But I have to do lighting. Oh, and I've got my very small Marvel Legends collection in there. So I got to change that up. But I got to do lighting, and I got to.
You probably have more Silverhawks.
What are you saying, Chris?
I said you probably have more Silverhawks if they were back metaled, right?
I'd also have more if they weren't $55 each. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh! You want to see something cool? I forgot to show you this. So this is a Sideshow Collectibles, 12-inch Arashikage temple. Cool. Yeah, that they made for the 12-inch figures, but I'll tell you what, it never sized well with the 12-inch figures. So I kept it and I use it for the 6-inch figures.
That's great.
I've been putting the Tekken and the Street Fighter guys on there, and I think that came out pretty cool.
Very nice.
So yeah, this is why we don't have an integral pool at our house.
Lynn says he wants to see a Cobra striker with the big emblem on it.
Oh yeah, we got that. Come on.
Oh,
very nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
This was San Diego Comic-Con like 2013 or something like that. So
very cool. So,
somebody wanted Sky Strikers. Let me show you this real quick.
Yeah.
So now Sky Striker like $150 a piece or something like that. Real quick,
what was that behind you in the corner? There was like a serpent logo over back there.
Oh, that is the Sideshow Collectibles Cobra Throne. So I have.
Oh wow.
I have the 1/6 scale Sideshow stuff. In my attic right now, so that's what this corner is going to be once I get it all unpacked.
Very nice.
These Sky Strikers are going for $150 a piece now, right?
Are they?
But there was a point in time when everybody was just trying to get rid of these things. I don't know how many I got in that corner, like 13 or so. I don't know. So I think I paid like $20 a piece or something like that at one point, like when they were just trying to get rid of stuff. So
nice.
But yeah, I'm loving the classifieds though. I mean, the Trouble Bubble I think is honestly one of the coolest pieces that they've made.
Yeah.
And they do pretty well on flight stands too.
I wish they sold the Trouble Bubble without the pilot, like just just by itself, or with like a standard, trooper, like one of the blue infantry guys or something.
It's funny. This is not the first time they ever sold the Trouble Bubble with the Televiper, right? So in 25th, they packaged them together too. Oh, and then I got Eel Team 6 here.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Eel Team 6.
Eel Team 6. So yeah, that's why we're poor.
So now that we've seen Greg's collection and we've seen your collection, Chris, we got a couple things going on here. So Joe Gonzalez there has not collected these since he was a kid. Sean's been trying to stay away from them, and I've got my own strategy. So I'm gonna throw you guys out what my strategy is with classifieds, and then I want you guys to tell me if I'm onto something or if I'm completely wrong, and tell me why. So my take is I've been watching Joe's for the last few weeks now since Steven got me hooked on that Hasbro YouTube. And I just think the Joes themselves are just a bunch of pompous jerks. Like they're sore winners. They're always talking shit, and I just want them to lose. Like first of all, I just don't like them. I just think they're fake heroes. They're not really good. Like they just, act like you've been there. It's like one of those guys that scores a touchdown and has to dance. Like just act like you've been there before, like you don't have to dance in the end zone. Like, so anyway, I am only collecting the bad guys right now. I'm only collecting the Cobra guys. Not collecting any of the Joes because I think the Joes are lame. And that's my strategy, is just to only collect the bad guys. So does that strategy hold water, or am I going to give in, and why?
You're definitely going to give in. Yeah, you got to have a couple badass guys, right? Not the pretty boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you should get an Outback. Outback is very underrated figure. If you go back into the comics, I mean, he was a survivalist, right? Like he's a badass dude, right? You're gonna need a Snake Eyes at one point because you are gonna love setting up a dio of a Snake Eyes taking down 10 Cobras. Like that's good. That's gonna be cool. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need somebody to go against Storm Shadow, right? I can understand not wanting the pretty boy Duke, not even wanting the pretty boy Flint, but there's some gritty dudes out there that you're gonna need. Torpedo is fantastic. The diver, Torpedo. I know Greg said rock and roll. I highly recommend rock and roll. I would definitely do Snow Job. He comes with skis. He's awesome.
Snow Job is sick.
Stalker's good.
People with him
Stalker's cheap.
In a flight stand. He looks good on a flight stand.
Yeah, Stalker is really cheap. He's really good. Really like Stalker.
Helix is a really nice female figure.
She's so good. She's so cool.
Mine's legs are a little warped, so I gotta throw some hot water on her right leg. It's a little wonky.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned you mentioned Snake Eyes before, and that's a very popular character, and I would say probably the most popular Joe from what I've seen. And I think I figured out why. Like I said, I've been watching this for the last few weeks. I think I figured out why he's the most popular. He's the only one that's not talking shit. He's the only one, like they go and win, and they don't got to shove it in Cobra's face. He doesn't he just goes about his day. Now, granted, he can't talk shit, but still, I think that's why people like him because he's the only one that's not a pompous jerk. So that's my take.
So, Curtis, I'm gonna interject. I'm not a modern GI Joe collector, but you're watching cartoons from the 80s. Do you remember the 80s?
Oh yeah.
Like humble was not a word to describe the 1980s in America. Like heroes talked smack. They just did. Like every Schwarzenegger movie, every Stallone movie.
Remember the 18?
Any action hero. 18. Every action show movie, those guys were jerks, man. It was just a decade of being an a-hole. And I think that's spilled over to the cartoons also. I think Snake Eyes is the most popular because he looks like a ninja. I actually got that was my very first G.I. Joe from the original series. I got Snake Eyes. I was a little kid, and he looked like a ninja, and that's why I bought him. I got him and Stalker were the first two, and now the villains, of course, are going to look cooler because that's
cool.
a pretty common trope to have cool looking villains.
Yeah.
So they're going to be more appealing visually, but are the villains going to fight nobody, or are they going to have no, resistance? Are they just going to own your shelves? That seems
so.
Like
here's my answer to that, Joe. As I'm watching these episodes, I'm sitting there going, at every turn, Zartan and Destro and Mindbender and Cobra Commander, they're all trying to one up each other. They're all trying to backstab and this and that. And I'm just sitting here thinking, if you guys could just work together, right? If you guys could just collaborate and work together, you could take these jerk Joes down, right? And who knows? Maybe the world's better off with Cobra in charge. That's what I'm thinking. We've never actually seen it. We've never seen it. Maybe the world would be better. And so in my collection, it's a world where they beat the Joes, and so that's all that's left is Cobra. And they're running things.
Dude, did you ever see the episode? Yeah, Worlds Without End, right? That's the episode, I believe.
Yeah.
It was a 2-parter where they go to this alternate world where Cobra won,
Oh, see, I need to go watch that.
Dude, that was a deep episode.
Was it like the best world ever?
It was good. It was good. It was good.
No, I mean, it was the world, the people that were living in the world. Were they we're so happy that Cobra's in charge?
Pure turmoil.
I think it would be amazing. I think it would be amazing.
The only other point that I'll make, the last point that I'll make is there's no Cobra figures with beards. And that's a major drawback to me. You know, snakes don't have beards, and you gotta have figures with beards, right? All the coolest figures have beards. So
I don't know about all the coolest, but yeah,
they're all fairly clean shaven. You know,
yeah, they are. It's like the Yankees.
Oh gosh,
it's so dumb. But as a kid, I loved them if they had a beret. All my favorite characters had a beret. I used to call them the Beret Brigade. I would have like 4 or 5 guys all had a beret. Dial Tone, Flint, Falcon, and Dusty. There was a Dusty that came with a beret, and that was like my crew that would hop on the helicopter and would go play as a kid. And I wore those figures out. You know.
Well,
Sometimes we like weird things.
This was my first Joe.
Yeah,
this was my first Joe in 86 or 87 when I first came to the States. This was my first Joe.
That's cool.
But and 3 through 4, I still got to get that just to have it. Like
okay. Let me throw another question at you guys then. The army building, okay. No, there's a lot of folks like to build out stormtroopers, like to build out, I don't know, different things from different lines. We just saw the Mo2 where you're building out like the Horde troopers and stuff like that.
Yep.
Is G.I. Joe the best army building line ever?
It is, and people don't realize that. It doesn't have that. Yeah. It doesn't have that reputation like Star Wars does, because so many people have troop built stormtroopers, whether it's Lego minifigures, all the way up. I've seen somebody who was troop building, 12-inch stormtroopers. I personally like the G.I. Joe piece of it, especially in the 3 3/4 scale, because with the vehicles, I think it looks really cool. There was a point in time where it was economically feasible to do so. I feel like those days are kind of coming to an end. I mean, a lot of these figures now are $25 to $35 a piece. I feel like it's getting harder to army build it, and you have to be able to find it. What I found is the trick is Amazon. As soon as it goes up, I type in my 6 and click, pre-order. But when it comes, it's $250, so it's that part sucks.
Well, I want to call out this comment here. Len LaGuardia says, I'm army building Crocmaster because he's $12 at Ross. Well, you know what, Len? That would have been nice to know before I spent $26 on him at Amazon. All right. It's not like I haven't been talking to you about Joe's all freaking week, and never once have you gone, hey, by the way, Crocmaster's at Ross for $12. He literally just arrived today for $26 from Target or from Amazon. So thanks a lot, Len. Appreciate you waiting for the show to let me know that. So there you go. I had to yell at Len.
Curtis, do you have scrap iron?
No.
What are your thoughts on scrap iron? I think that is the maybe one of the figures of the year for what it comes with.
I'll have to look.
Scrap iron is pretty sick. I got them right here too. Hold on, let me see.
I've been avoiding all the a lot of them. So,
hey, Lynn answered you, Curtis.
What did he say? He said he's a jerk. No, you didn't. You didn't say anything about Crocmaster.
Hey, Curtis.
Liar too.
Send me your shipping info. I got a scrap iron heading in your way, buddy. I got an extra. And I'm telling you, this is going to take you down the rabbit hole even farther.
Yeah. Yep.
This is so good. So good. I will I'll get that out in the mail to you.
I just literally Googled scrap iron, and it's just showing me like busted up iron that like somebody is like recycling. Like, no, that's not what I want. That's not what I want at all.
This little tank he comes with is really cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, he comes with the what are they calling this thing? The anti-armor drone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I like the little
and
like,
all the
tread
blast
on it
effects.
and-
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So,
I had not seen that one yet. So I told you I got my Dreadnought. I've got the Twins up there. I've got Serpentor. I opened up Destra this week. I've got Storm Shadow over there waiting to be open. I've got Crocmaster waiting to be open. Lynn's sending me a couple figures. I've got another guy sending me a few figures. So yeah, I've got, and then I ordered some too. So I'm rabbit holing big time. So
yeah, I have to tell you, the biggest thing for me, having been such a Joe fan for such a long time, in 2006 is when I started collecting Joe again, right? So I've been doing this now for, 18 years as an adult, right?
Yeah.
I would listen to every podcast, every YouTube show for the last, 18 years, right? And it was always Joe was this cursory offshoot, right? It'd be the toy shows, toy podcasts, whoosh, all of them, right? They would talk Marvel Legends, everything else, right? All the popular toy lines, no Joe stuff, right? And then there was Joe only shows, podcasts, and a couple YouTube channels and stuff like that that I've been a part of in the past, and it was these two separate worlds. So for me, this last year, I really think is when it's really taken off. It's so cool to see the worlds collide of other adult collectors getting into Joe and starting to appreciate the lore and the characters and the cool designs. I feel like it's way overdue. I love seeing it though, because I think a lot of the stuff down here I started collecting because I was watching and listening to all this other stuff. I mean, my wife was going to kill me. I mean, when it first started, they were talking Joe. Pete was going to pick up some Joes and this and that, and then it kind of went away. And it went away in a lot of people's minds. So this is really cool because I think we're in a renaissance for G.I. Joe right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I for me, when I was a kid, the 3 3/4 did nothing for me. And even if I did touch a 3 3/4 figure, it was probably going to be a Star Wars figure. I know it sounds really stupid and minor and nitpicky. I hated the Joe's hands and how the thumbs would always break off. Like that just bugged the shit out of me. Anytime that I would go over to a friend's house or whatever, and they have Joe's, I'd be like, all their fucking thumbs are missing. Like, it just pissed me off. So yeah, I just couldn't get in it. But these toys are so freaking good. Like if we had stuff like this when I was a kid, I definitely would. Because I love the cartoon. I just the figures just never did anything for me at 3 3/4. But this scale is really neat. So
yeah, my one complaint, like I'm gonna give all the praises in the world to the Joe team, and Lenny and the guys over there are fantastic. My one complaint is just because they can do things doesn't mean they should. Like with the Dreadnoks, I don't think they needed to make the sunglasses a separate piece. Like they don't stay on the head well. If I take them off the shelf, I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose these sunglasses. And when I put them back on the shelf,
I put a little glue tack on the sides of Buzzer's head where the glasses are. And then on Ripper, I've just got them holding the glasses. Because, you're right. Yeah. They just, on their own, they just don't stay on. So, I can see that. We got a question from Len here for you, Chris. Says, when are we getting a dock or a lifeline?
I'm trying to remember what's been announced. I definitely think you would probably see a dock first, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to do a dock with the molds, right? I mean, you could take most of what the first Duke was, and you could use that to make a dock with those molds, and I could easily see them doing something awesome as a deluxe figure with the stretcher. Like that would be really cool, especially because we got the Dragonfly coming out. How cool would that be to have the stretcher hanging off the bottom of the Dragonfly? That would be pretty awesome. Lifeline.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's a pacifist, right? A lot of the Joe guys don't like Lifeline. In all the cartoons, he didn't want to fire a gun. He didn't want to he was the only figure that went into a Kellogg's box because he was the only one that didn't have a gun molded onto him. You know.
All right. Well, you mentioned the Dragonfly. So there's been 2 successful HasLabs now. Obviously, the one is in hand now. With a lot of people have gotten their His tank in and stuff. The Dragonfly has not shipped out yet. Correct? Like is that supposed to be later this year?
I think mid this year. Yeah, mid to late this year. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on both? I want to hear from you guys. Well, and from Joe and Sean too, on what you guys obviously you've seen these. So what are your thoughts on the HasLabs that we've had so far for G.I. Joe? And based on having 2 successful ones, where some of the Star Wars and some of that hasn't been successful, what else do you think that we could see when it comes to HasLabs? So.
Yeah.
So let's start with the ones that we know, the His tank that's in hand, as well as the Dragonfly. What are your thoughts on those?
Yeah, I love the His tank. That thing is amazing. I have 2. So I have the one on the shelf. I have another one still in the box that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with that yet because space is running out of space. There was a third HasLab for G.I. Joe 2, though, just to be fair. There was a 3 3/4 Sky Striker. It came with like a reef. Yeah. I didn't get that. I had too many Sky Strikers already, and I kind of moved on from that scale.
Yeah, me too.
The Dragonfly, I ordered one. To me, I think it's really cool. It comes with a big acrylic stand, so you'll be able to pose it, on the stand in, a dynamic pose, so it looks like it's swooping into attack. I think it's really cool. The light up gauges and the blast effects to me just kind of take it to a different level. It becomes like almost like a mini statue rather than like a toy. It straddles that line in between those 2 things. We have the Vamp coming. I honestly think we're going to see Vamps start showing up before this month is over. They've been at port in California for like 2 or 3 weeks already. So like they're coming. And the Vamp, I think, opens up the door to $100 price point, which I think that kind of opens the door to a lot of other stuff, right? Because, in that size, right, you've got Skyhawks, you've got Sharks, you've got snowmobiles, you've got Stingers, you've got ferrets, you've got boats like the Devilfish and the Cobra Sea Landing. Like, there's a lot of stuff. I expect us doing small vehicles, for a couple of years with maybe like a HasLab every year to be that bigger, more, pinnacle piece. But I'll tell you what I want more than anything is more playset stuff, like Checkpoint Alpha, the bunkers, the G.I. Joe Law, the laser station stuff. Like, I would love to see that because it really fills out a display space.
Okay. What about you, Greg? You said the Dragonfly. Aren't you planning on hanging it from the ceiling?
I was just looking around, seeing.
have it attack your turtle blimp.
I did get 2. I did get 2. I mean, the His tank is insane. They knocked that out the park. The light up features, the missile effects, the figures that came with it. I really don't have any argument. Trevor.
Yep, Trevor's here.
The Vamps I'm looking forward to. I was just looking around too, like where am I going to put those at? I think I got 2 of those also.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'm going to be moving soon, so I'm going to be looking for a bigger space, like my collection space. Hopefully like a garage or a basement, like Chris got.
Yeah. What about stuff that you'd want to see from like
$2,000 on shelving?
What about things that you'd want to see from a HasLab?
I think that the next one's going to be like a little.
Sorry, I think we got a little bit delay.
I'm definitely down for playsets. Playsets are pretty cool. That'd be really cool. A playset.
Yeah.
But I think the next one's gonna be like a little like one of those little like another flying Cobra maybe. I forgot the name of it. I was talking about it with Cookie. The hell is the name of it? I can't. It's right there, but I can't get the name of it.
Is it a jet or a helicopter?
Jet.
So you got Big Night Raven, you've got the Cobra Rattler.
I say black and red, but Rattler.
You mean black and red, the big black and red one. That's the Night
Rattler
Raven.
might be next.
Yeah, the Rattler is the blue one, the A10. Right?
But I think. Yes. That's the one actually that we were talking about. That I think that might be coming out next because that's a size that they could actually pull off in 6-inch without it being too crazy.
Yeah. Let me grab one to show you guys.
Well, while he does that, so we've kind of heard from Greg and Chris, and what their thoughts are on this, and what do you guys, Sean and Joe? Are you tempted? Is any of this getting to you, or are you just putting up your force fields and saying no to classified? What do we got, Joe? I'll start with you. Is there any pull here?
No, none at all. I'm not a nostalgic collector anymore.
Yeah.
So it just, for one, it would just go in a box in a room because I don't have any space to put it right. There's a reason there's a curtain behind me. My house is not large. And I just, like I said, that G.I. Joe was never, I collected them when I was a kid, but then that's been it. I haven't watched the cartoons. I haven't collected the comic books since the 80s. There's nothing for me. HasLabs are cool. The toys all look good. I always check them out when I, go to Walmart or something, but it's not something I'm also more of a fantasy guy. Mm-hmm. Like you talk about army building. Yeah. I have a huge collection of those old Toy Biz Lord of the Rings figures, Oh, okay. For me, that was the ultimate army building line. Like, who doesn't want an army of like elves and orcs and, all those different fantasy creatures? But I'm a D&D guy, so I guess that's more of my focus.
Yeah, they've got this one line out there, Mythic Legions. I don't know if you've heard of that. That was a pretty
Mythic Legends.
Yeah. That's a good army building line. So got orcs and elves and goblins and all that kind of stuff. So
Mythic and Cosmic are the only ones I have on display right now. So
gotcha.
I made
so you're saying that you have looked at them in the store, you can appreciate them, but you don't feel the need to buy them. Is that basically it?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, Sean. What's the verdict? You've been on the fence about pulling the trigger. Has Greg done a good job with his sales skills that he uses on a daily basis to sell you on Joe's?
Well, I have been sold on Joe's twice, and each time I've gotten them, I've had to sell them again. And that was my whole thing of I'm doing my damnedest to not do it a third time, because the ones I had originally were the ones that I really want to keep these if I can pull that off. And at the time, it just did not work out the way I hoped. For me, it's too much going on with every toy line there is. If you like Masters, and granted, I'm not into Origins or Masterverse, but even with Mondo in the game now and stuff, if you're into Mythic Legions, there's still Cosmic Legions or Figura Obscura. And then if you like G.I. Joe, there's Classified, obviously, and all these different ranges of stuff. And I'm like Joe, and I respect Joe in that fact that he's not a nostalgia collector, and I'm trying not to do that. Yes, I do collect Masters, but I want to collect versions of those that to me are superior to what I had as a kid versus here's a 5 POA figure that I can just like here he is crouched again, just like every other time I've had him. It's like, give me a Mondo, give me a Classics, happiness ensues. For me, like the one line that never had the chance to do that until the last few years was G.I. Joe, and that was one of the base figure lines I had growing up. And that would be the nostalgia collector in me finally coming out and going, okay, General Hawk was one that I absolutely love playing with. I really want to get a General Hawk. I want to get a Storm Shadow. And then if I got Storm Shadow, I'd need a Snake Eyes, because you can't have peanut butter without the jelly. You know what I mean? And you gotta have some of those core figure. Like for me, Flint was one of my absolute favorites. I didn't like the Flint that they put out. I'm sure that Chris would fight me on that and say, no, it's a great figure. Personally, I still
I agree with you.
Okay, cool. That was easy. I personally, when I saw his face, I'm like, that's not Flint to me. And the sculpt they use on him, they made him look too tough guy. And I always thought Flint would be more pretty boy than that. The cartoon and even the old figure had a certain vibe, and I felt it didn't continue to classify with him. But like Cobra Commander is a great looking figure, the way that they did him in Classified. Destro, even the officers or the troopers, the Cobra troopers are freaking amazing looking compared to what we had as kids and all that. Like you were saying, if we had these as kids, my mom would have ran out of money trying to keep up my Joe fix, and I probably would have been out of a lot of other toy lines. So yeah, I'm impressed. And on top of that, in the last year or two, they've started making them feel more the way we had versus when they came out and they had all of the extra metal and armor and all that.
Yeah.
And seeing them like that was like, oh God, now I'm like teetering on the edge again, because it feels like when I was a kid again. So, but it's
he's talking about that. That looks like
I'm not a fan of that. I mean, it's cool. It's like if that was a special version of Duke. But when that's your base figure of Duke, I do not like that face sculpt.
I don't like these two either. These are probably my least two favorite of the whole line, to be honest with you.
See, here's a weird hot take that I'll throw at you, Chris. I think the Duke face works better as a Flint face if you just color his hair black. That's just me.
Yeah.
So there is that option. I don't know why. It's just Flint never had a scar, and suddenly he just shows up with a scar. It's like, who are you trying to prove something to, dude? Really? You're that guy? Come on, It's like I could buy Snake, or I could buy Storm Shadow having a scar under his mask or whatever, but Flint, really?
He's one of those fancy boy beret guys.
Yeah, he's got the beret. You gotta be kidding me.
Those first two waves of Classified, Sean, the design team received the direction that they needed to go 10 minutes into the future, right? Okay. And they didn't really get a green light to do the classic look, right? And then I think honestly over the last year, because of the success and because Joe is 3 for 3 on HasLabs and a lot of these other brands are missing HasLabs, I think the design team's been given a lot more autonomy now to sort of go and do what they want to do. And I think that's why we're getting what we want. And I think that's why we're getting such good figures right now, is because the suits at Hasbro now believe that they can sell this product. So they're like, okay, Lenny and team, go do what you think is going to win, because clearly it's working. Clearly something's working. We're not going to get in your way. I think that's the really big change, because if you think about that first wave of figures, right, we had an ugly Roadblock with gold and chrome all over him. We had an ugly Scarlet. We had an ugly Duke. And then we had a really good Destro. And Destro was really good because he looked classic.
Yeah, he was.
And then, they're starting to do the retro card, which started at Walmart. I think you're gonna start seeing it in other places, but you're starting to see those with the more classic look. And they've already showed us pictures of retro Duke and retro Scarlet. So they're trying to go back and sort of redo that stuff. And I think if you get nostalgia from those classic looks, they're gonna have you hardcore for the next couple of years, because
that's
I
the
to
part
talk
that's
about that
hitting me,
retro real quick, because I was picking up this Destro. I was trying to decide between the original Destro and the retro card.
Yep.
And the retro card, it didn't have the same paint apps. Like the retro card, like they didn't paint the Cobra on the case. They didn't paint the red on the gun. Like it just, like, I don't know. It just felt like they were really pulling back a lot on the paint apps. So is that something that you think we're gonna have to expect on the retro cards, that they're not going to be painted as well as some of the regular classifieds?
No, I don't think so. And I will tell you, I think something that this G.I. Joe line has struggled with for a very long time is that when they re-release figures, they have to do something to make it unique from what was sold before. So I actually think what you were seeing there with Destro, the Baroness was the same way, is the way they made it different, which right, wrong, or indifferent, was reducing paint apps. Because then they also had Gung Ho, which is a classic look with the aqua shirt, and that had significantly more paint apps on it than the other Gung Ho did. So I don't think the retro is going to have less paint apps.
Paint apps is a good way of making it different, though. Like if you want to change the paint apps, if you want to make it a different shade, if you want to, even make it a different sculpt or whatever. But yeah, just not having paint apps on there, it just looks plain. Like I was sitting there looking at a couple of the retro cards. I'm like, man, this is just not as good. Like I'd rather get the regular one. But then there's, like you said, there's some other retro card ones that I look at. I'm like, man, these are badass. So
yeah. I think the worst kept secret is that the Cobra Commander that came with the Hiss tank is probably going to be on a retro card later this year, but just without the Mickey Mouse logo. And I think that's what you're going to see is more of the Sunbow inspired, comic inspired classic look on those retro cards, because we're also getting, I call it pre-paints. That's when they give you a version that is maybe not the definitive version that you want. It would be like your Tiger Force, your Night Force, right?
Oh, yeah.
They'll give you those versions first, right? And a lot of people will go and grab it. And then they'll give you the version that you really wanted second, right? And it kind of guarantees that they're selling too. But there's actually a good reason why they do that. A lot of the retro card that was going through Walmart, the Tiger Force, Python Patrol, Cobra Island that was going through Target, a lot of that tooling is offset and paid for by the retailer in order to get the retailer exclusive. So at the beginning of this line, when they had some budget constraints and they could only, do so much, that was actually pretty smart. They got Target and Walmart to help pay for the tooling. They sold the Tiger Force, they sold the Python Patrol version, but then almost immediately they gave us, in the next couple months, the version that we really wanted. I think you'll see a little bit more of that too, because it used to be they would give you the version of, maybe it was a Python Patrol or Tiger Force, and then a year or two down the line, you would get the opposite, right? The other deco. But I think they're finding, just as, they've already got everything tooled. Hey, they'll run it through in these colors, close production, box them up, ship them. Then they run it through the next color. I personally like getting the sub teams. I think it's kind of cool. I think it looks pretty cool. But I know it's not for everybody, But like Recondo came as a Tiger Force, and he's going to be coming in that same wave with Duke and Scarlet, but in more classic colors.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
See, that's the thing about the line that confused me. You explaining that, I'm like, okay, completely makes sense now. But when you aren't in, like, being in the Mythic Legions community, we're daily always getting these here's things that are going on within production or whatever, and getting at least ideas of what's happening. With this one, I had no idea. So when out of nowhere, like, I would love to get Outback, but then it's like, I didn't want Tiger Force Outback. I wanted the regular one that I had when I was a kid. Again, nostalgia collector. So then when like some of these things came out, and I'm like, well, if that's the version they're going to give me, I'll just take it. Like if I'm collecting it, I'll take it, because that's at least close to what I wanted. And then I'm like, well, when is it going to be until they drop the other shoe on this one? And like, case in point, the first Storm Shadow they brought out was the winter version of him or what. Like
Yes.
he's not the traditional, the all white Storm Shadow, the way that the first version that we knew as kids. And I got him because I'm like, hey, it's a Storm Shadow. That's great. And then I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Now we're going to get the real one that I wanted all along. And then it's like that kind of drove me nuts following the line at first and going, well, why do I have to wait this long for the version I want? And you're giving me a variant version first for some of these figures. And that confused me. But no, thank you for that, because I did not know that's how the business side of it was going.
Yeah, that makes sense what you're saying, Sean. It would be like if somebody put out like a non-vac metal Silverhawk and said, hey, this is all you're getting because we can't do the other one, and then turns around and does the other one anyway. Like that would be terrible, though. I don't know anybody that would do that, but yeah, that would be awful. So
nobody would hurt you like that, Chris. Nobody would hurt you. Show me on the steel wheel where they touched you, and we'll just talk about it from there, because I don't know who would hurt you of all people like that. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty sure, Sean, that that Arctic Storm Shadow is supposed to be like a Ninja Force Storm Shadow.
Yeah.
I think, and this is me guessing, right? I don't know this for sure. I think that was actually supposed to be the second Storm Shadow we were supposed to get, because if you remember back to that first wave, when you looked at the back of it, there was a Storm Shadow with like this crazy like Sub-Zero ski mask and these like Yakuza style tattoos all over him. And I think we were going to get him. And then something happened internally at Hasbro, and they decided to make this pivot to more classic designs and not this future stuff, because they even had like card art, package art on their website that showed more of that stuff. So I think they had more of it, the design. And then when they made that pivot, I think they were like kind of scrambling to be like, all right, what can we give folks that they'll connect to more of a classic item, but it's not going to be something that's going to turn people away and be like, what the hell is this? This isn't Storm Shadow. This is Sub-Zero on tattoo night, at the tattoo parlor,
That's like that is one thing. Like I've pulled away from collecting a lot of like the bigger toy company stuff, and like the more the indie things are getting my money for the last decade, I'd want to say. But that is something from Hasbro's perspective that I really gave them props for when they started going for what the fans had wanted. And suddenly now you're getting retro card figures and getting that nostalgia kick, or you're at least getting as close as they can to this is what it felt like to get, like Falcon, for instance. Even though the face, like Greg showed the face, the mom wouldn't even love that face, but we got a Falcon. It's like, okay, that works for me on that level, and that's impressive that a toy company like Hasbro of all places would be like, you know what, let's do what they want and not do our version instead, and keep going that way, and actually make more money from it, hopefully. So it's pretty cool.
The other thing that I think has really helped is that they now have a platform to sell directly to the fan, right? It used to be driven by the buyers at the brick and mortar retail, right? And the brick and mortar retail was like, oh yeah, we know Iron Man, we know Spider-Man, we know Batman, we know Snake Eyes, right? And they wanted to see one of those guys in every wave, because that was like how they felt comfortable that it was going to be a sell-through, right? And now with Hasbro Pulse and so much stuff going through Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store and all the other retailers, it's gotten away from the brick and mortar buyers controlling so much of the narrative as to who's in each wave. And I personally like that. I like that. I'd rather pre-order and just know it's going to get here than run around to all the stores and try to chase it down. But that is a big
Does that
thing
mean that we're going to get less of the exclusives that are just a Walmart exclusive or Target exclusive and that kind of thing? Or are we still going to see a bunch of those? Because that's what Lynn's saying, like all the crazy store releases and sub-team stuff drives him nuts. So because I know there's that's one thing, like I haven't been in the Joe business for a long time here, But one of the things that I've heard from people is like, I hate that when it's these exclusives and I can't fucking find it anywhere, and I got to pay, buku bucks to get it.
It's so much easier
That's
than
when they
that
gotta
now.
make friends.
So 20, yeah, exactly. Make your friends, right? 2020, 2021, they did the Cobra Island line at Target. That was pure insanity. I remember it was New Year's Eve day. Buddy texted me at 4:00 in the morning, and he's like, dude, Target's got Cobra Vipers, right? Make sure you're there, 8:00. There was 12 of us standing there for a case of 6, right? And some shenanigans ensued. I left with one. Not everybody did though, right? But it was like that for a solid year, and they've kind of addressed that. But this is something I've been warning all my friends for the last 9 months. 2024 is going to be very different as far as what retailers and companies have ordered as far as quantities go with mainline retail stuff, right? Whether it's Motu or Marvel Legends or G.I. Joe Classified, they did not, or the big one, Super 7 Ultimates. These guys just did not order the same numbers that they did 2 years ago. And a lot of these things that you see going to Ross and going into closeout prices on Entertainment Earth, and you're just not going to see that from the stuff that comes out this year. And I think some people are going to get really surprised how quick things are going to come and go this year. So if there's something that you see and you like it, this is the year above all to pre-order it. And I know everybody's like, you got me last year. I paid full price, and then it was everywhere for $6.99. That is not going to be the story this year at all. So if there's something that you see that you want, pre-order it. That's why personally I'm trying to cut down to just a couple lines this year, because if I want to try to get everything, I'd rather try to catch up next year on the things that I didn't get last year than catch up next year on the things I'm going to miss this year. There's a few things that I wanted to pick up from last year. I'm saving that money for stuff that's coming out this year, because people are going to be shocked. The Vamps, I think people are going to be like, oh, they didn't make enough. The pre-order on Hasbro Pulse is sold out. Not every retailer is getting it, and people are going to be upset. And I think eventually they'll come out with it in a slightly different, color. They can do a tan one or something. Yeah, Tiger Force. That's a good one. Tiger Stick. Yeah. But this is not the year for people who are interested in collecting this stuff to be like, I'm going to wait for Ross. I'm going to wait for closeout. Because what you're going to find at closeout this, holiday 2024 is you're going to find the stuff that didn't make it for holiday 2023. You're not going to find the 2024 stuff. It's just not in that, quantity of it's being made right now. So that's going to be a big change for people. So don't wait for Ross.
So let me ask you guys another question. So, Motu Classics. People to this day still talk about Motu Classics being like this amazing line, and we've had several other different versions of Motu with Origins and Masterverse and 2000X and New Adventures and everything else, but Classics is the one that people go to the most. Like I just hear everybody talking about how Classic is the best, and really I think what they did well was kind of upgrade the figures that we were nostalgic for. Like they took the things from the toys and just kind of amped them up and made it to where they were so good at pulling in kind of those nostalgic bits to it that I've heard several stories from different folks that sell figures secondhand, that people would come up to him, they go, oh, I used to have that when I was a kid. And it's like, no, you didn't. And it's like, yeah, no, I had this one. I had this figure. You may have had that version from the vintage line, but you didn't have this. But it's so it encaptures that nostalgic feeling so well that people automatically like draw that connection, and they're taken back to that time when they were 5 years old or whatever. So my question for you guys is, has Classified become that for Joe? Like, is that when you look at it, you go, this is what I liked as a kid, but updated and new, and this is the best versions we're ever going to get of these? Is that what you think?
I don't know about ever,
Mm.
but for right now, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's you
I have a
yeah.
I have a little bit different opinion because to me the vehicles with GI Joe were as much as big of a character as the named characters, right? So that is one thing that will always be hard for the classified line, in my opinion, to catch up. I think the modern era line, the fact that they had all the classic vehicles, will always get an edge out on that because to me the vehicles are so cool. I work in aerospace, so like I love all the jets. That's the world that I work in. So that is the thing that it won't ever be able to do. As far as a figure goes, these are far superior than anything we've ever had. They're far superior to the modern era ones. When I started setting up this downstairs, I opened up all of these club exclusive modern eras to set up all the displays. I had been sitting on some of the stuff for 10 years. And part of me kind of regrets doing some of that because once I opened them up, I was like, oh, some of these things are really shitty, you know? But I don't get that with the classified, but just from a size perspective, you're never going to be able to get, I don't think we'll ever see like a Sky Striker. It's just a regular Sky Striker is big enough for me to hold in one hand. So to go to a 6-inch, it doesn't even make sense for it to be something that somebody could feasibly fool around with, you know? So, but I think we'll get the
it'd be like my size.
You don't think
What's
we'll see
that?
a flag?
Frank size?
The size
It'd
of
be
like
like
a
6'8"
baseball diamond.
with a wingspan.
Yeah. I want a flag that takes up a baseball field.
Dude, I have always thought about just setting up some wood boards on some like spa tables, just at like 15 feet to give people an idea. And I'd be like, and it would be significantly bigger than this, you know, like, in the backyard. I got to tell you, I love having a flag. It's my favorite thing down here. It's also freaking enormous. It's 7.5 feet long, 3.5 feet wide, 2.5 feet tall. It's a freaking dining room table. Like people who don't have it and they're not around it don't realize how cumbersome it is to have something like that in a display area. It just takes up so much space. It's a table, right? Like Hasbro sold kids in 1985 a table, and people don't realize it. It didn't come with legs, right?
But it's a really cool table.
It is a cool table, but it doesn't go with, Hey, Jesse, what's up?
Speaking of tables.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've got Chris here, and we can see him, and we can hear him, and he's not buffering. It's crazy. All right, sorry, you were saying, Chris.
No, I'm just saying, like, to me, I think the vehicles are as much of a character as some of these figures are. I probably have just as many fond memories of playing with the snowcat or playing with a devilfish in the bathtub or flying around with my Tomahawk helicopter than I do of playing with a Flint and a Storm Shadow and a Cobra Commander. So that's the one thing classified will always sort of lack, and I don't think, honestly, they've ever done it better than they did in the 80s. The amount of detail, like those 80s vehicles, I still got a bunch of them. They still hold up. I mean, they were made by model makers, but the figures are fantastic, though. I can't say enough about the figures.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I personally think the his tank should have been like a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and the HasLab one should have been that bigger his tank that came with like the 2-passenger one. The 3/4 inch had that one that was like a 2-passenger one. It was a little bit bigger than the regular size his tank. I think that should. Yeah. Yes, the his 2 should have been a HasLab, and this one should have been like a Hasbro exclusive kind of. So this way they can make a crimson one, and they could change this one up, and then have that big one that would have been the HasLab exclusive, the double seats. Like that's the only thing I think they messed up on, but it's still a very cool vehicle.
I don't think it's past them to, maybe 4 or 5 years down the line for them to take all of the electronics out of it and print it in red or blue or white and then sell it again on like Hasbro Pulse. I think if they get far enough away, they're not going to totally piss off everybody.
Yeah. That's
only
a lie.
partially.
I'm
Only
gonna
partially
piss
pissed off
off.
everybody.
How dare you? You gonna strip it bare? Then you're gonna give me the same parts of an exclusive that was never supposed to be made again? You can't use that mold. You said you can't use that mold.
Better yet, do it in vac metal.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. Curtis is the only one allowed to beat dead horses around here.
Correct.
We already did that gag like 15 minutes ago, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry. I wasn't here.
So, Jesse, we've got 2 guys on the show that are, basically got a shit ton of Joes. We've got me dipping my feet in. We've got Joe that says he's not tempted by it. He doesn't need it. Sean is a little tempted. He's taken the dip a couple times and then gotten rid of them. Not sure whether he's going to dip in again. What's your stance on classified? Have you gotten any? Is it something that does anything for you?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch. I remember seeing those. I think started to come out. At least shipping form were starting to go during like quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I ordered the Snake Eyes. And I really liked. I was a little disappointed the original one, the regular one, not the deluxe like 00 release. I thought the accessories were great. Just some of the joints were a little loose on mine, but otherwise it was. I love the design of it, and I heard you guys a little bit as I was driving home, talking about not caring for the like kind of that more modern look on some of the initial releases, and like I totally get that for the nostalgia factor and just not being what you remember as a kid, but I only had a couple as a kid, and I don't think I had any of the ones that were coming out in those early waves. So I really liked them. I didn't mind the updates and everything. I do like that they're going back and doing more classic looks for a lot of them. Yeah, I have. I probably have like 6 or 7 Cobra troopers or Cobra, like between the troopers and the officers, the regular blue ones. A couple of the ninjas. I've got like all the the classic villains. I'm not doing the dreadnoughts and all that stuff. I'm keeping it limited, but yeah, I think other than the reissue of Scarlet, I think I'm almost done. As far as what they've put out, I've got a good variety.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I really feel like even after talking to you guys tonight and seeing your collection and stuff, I really think I can stick to the villains. Like, and the reason why I think that I can't, because normally, like if it was just going off like Mythic Legion experience, like I went in there and I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna buy a skeleton or a dwarf. I'm just gonna stick to the vampires and Templars and this and that didn't fucking work out. But when it comes to like the McFarlane line, I've said I'm only gonna collect the ones that I want that are like the Justice League ones. And I've done that. Like I haven't bought any villain from the McFarlane with the exception of Doomsday, and that's just because it fit in my Superman collection. But I mean, I really have stayed away from the villains, and I think on this, I think I'll be able to stay away from the Joes, just because they just don't do a lot for me. And when I watch the cartoon, I don't like the Joes. I kind of despise them. So I'm gonna still shoot for just collecting the villains. We'll see if I'm successful though. I mean, even with just doing the villains though, like within this past week between trades and purchases, I mean, I probably got it, I don't know, 20 figures coming. So it's still a slippery slope. So yeah.
So let me ask everybody what, we kind of know what's been made out there, right? If you could put a character in the line, and if you don't remember that's cool. But who would you want that's not out there yet?
Sorry, I'm looking at the comments for Wesley Curry II. Okay, Wesley Curry.
He sounds like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he doesn't need a toy show to reach everybody on Earth. So, well, good luck, Wesley. I don't.
This is only getting to 12 people, so lock down.
Yeah, say whatever you got to say, Wes. Throw it out there. Oh, Chinese weather balloons, man. Okay, gotcha. I think I'm gonna have to give this guy the Kevin.
So that's my vote for what we haven't got in the line yet is a Chinese weather balloon. I think we really.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Wesley just got a Kevin Dufresne treatment, so he is out of there.
So, so for classified, the one that I'll throw mine out there because he's one that I love, and I'm sure people will go, "Really, you like this guy?" But I'm gonna say it. I don't care. One that if they made him in classified, I'd be like, "Oh, son of a bitch, I gotta get him as sci-fi." I don't know
great
why
figure.
I always loved sci-fi. He was so weird looking that as a kid I was like, why would you wear this like freaking fluorescent green bodysuit and use lasers? And it just, for me, it was the dumbest thing, but it endeared him
laser
to me.
beams.
I don't know. I mean, the guy's got Chinese weather balloons in the chat. I mean, why not use laser beams? Yeah. I dig him. I don't know what it is about that guy. He looks like he's ready to go play laser tag at a moment's notice, and I love the guy for being prepared. What can I say? He reminded me of that, and it's like he had a bunch of mashup things. He made me think he could be on Mask. He also felt like G.I. Joe, but then he also had like I don't even know. He was like a mix of a ton of different things, and I'm just like, I just kind of dig this for this guy. And they made Low Light recently, and he's another one that I gravitated towards as a kid. So I'm like, Sci-Fi and him were my buddies. I'd have them like team up together and do missions and stuff when I was a kid. So yeah, I'd love it if I saw him in classified.
Well, Chris, I'm going to say the one that we're not going to get, and that's a hooded Cobra Commander. So
you're still harping on that too, huh?
Man, that's I don't know. I like the hooded Cobra Commander look. But we're never going to get that figure because they're
what you talking about, Chris?
They're just not going to do it. Well, yeah, I mean, we can do a third party one.
You're a painter. I mean, this is the number one sold head on eBay right now for this line. Is the hood, you know?
I just, you
need it.
Like it's a classic look for them. It's not like I just don't know why you would avoid doing that. Like I can't see where the backlash would be worse than just not doing it and fans being upset that about you not doing it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I know why they're not doing it. You know, I know why Hasbro's taking that stance. I personally feel like those two things are so different that they don't need to take that stance. They're being overly sensitive, you know. But yeah,
I mean, they're running the cartoons right now on their YouTube with the hooded Cobra Commander. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Hasbro YouTube. You go to it. You go to the live right now. He's got a hood on. You know, like but you can't put it on a toy. I don't know.
When I was a kid watching the cartoon, and I had the 3 3/4 of both the mirror faced and the hooded one. For some reason, every time I saw him running or doing anything with that hood on, I always got anxiety that it was going to fall off of him every time. And it's not like it would have bothered me to find out what he looked like under the mask, because there is that feeling of what does he finally look like. But at the same time, I was like, every time he had at least the mirror mask on, I was like, okay, I don't have to be nervous that when he's running away from G.I. Joe, that I'm fine. It's like you just feel embarrassed for the poor guy. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I thought I understand why you get the way you get about it, because it was very. It's like in Masters. There's the classic Skeletor look or battle armor, and those are kind of how I looked at that.
It's
as a
like
kid,
how they won't do the Iron Cross for He-Man in a lot of lines.
Yeah, they'll
do the
converted
H.
to the H. Yeah.
So
yeah. I thought the way they did the Cobra Commander with the mirror mask in Classified is actually like way more regal than I would have ever expected them to make them. And I was really impressed with that. And I'm kind of like, honestly, if I dip my toe back in, and this is the last time I ever do it, and I hate that I'm even saying that because that implies the hope is there, but I'd still be just thrilled to have the mirror mask ones to this day. So.
What was that? The one where he's like has the metal suit and like the jetpack and shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Battle armor.
Yeah,
Cobra Commander.
That's battle armor. I almost called it battle armor.
Yeah, I liked that version. Like I that would be cool in a Classified.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That, Chris?
I can see them doing that. So 25th, they shared tooling with battle armor, Cobra Commander, and with Iron Grenadiers.
Yeah,
Destro's army. And I could let me grab one of the Iron Grenadiers. I could see that, you know.
I always thought that outfit made him look like he was gonna go scuba diving.
Yeah.
I really did. As a kid, I never bought that figure. I just stuck with the mirror mask or the hood, and that was it. The other one just was like way too far out for Cobra Commander.
See what we got here.
So this is the same tooling. If you look at the vest, you can kind of make out that battle armor Cobra Commander. But that's what they did for 25th. But this is one of my favorite troop builders of all time. This would be what I would pick.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I always as a kid loved any character that could fly. If they had wings or they had a jetpack, like I love Stratos. So with Boba Fett, you know, and then like you throw that little jetpack thing on Cobra Commander, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm in. Like this is yeah, that's my Cobra Commander. Like I'm all about that. So I think that's one of the reasons why I like Serpentor so much with the fucking little chariot that he fucking flies around on and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
Speaking of flying,
this is the
check this out.
Oh, we got two chickens out. Let's see. What do we got? Jetpack.
This is the jetpack.
Oh,
for the Steel Brigade guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they're calling them now Steel Core, but this is
Steel Core.
You know, I have a feeling we'll see this again more. You know, with some other figures, but that was the classic jetpack.
That's cool. What you got there, Greg? You got there's some box art there? Oh yeah. Oh, that's a big guy.
This is a variant. This is a variant sealed.
Yeah.
Marley with me on the side.
Oh, that's you? I knew it was a tall guy. Okay, that's you. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, very nice.
Cookie found that one for me and pulled it to the side. He was like, I think you might want to keep this one. I said, yeah, I think I need that one.
So speaking of Four Horsemen, a little crazy right now, huh? With containers coming in and trying to figure out what's on them and what you can ship. Yeah,
I'm still sore.
Yeah.
Are you still sore?
He is. He's still sore.
Yeah. That was 2 containers. I missed the container that came in the day before. But we did the 2 containers in one day and getting everything together and starting getting stuff ready to start shipping.
I mean, you guys don't have a ton of space either. So unloading 2 containers in one day and finding place to store all that stuff can't be easy. So
portals. That's what we use. We use portals?
That's
and
cool.
Different universes. We just take the pallet right in there and just hold on to that for a little while.
Last time Chris was on the show, he was doing that. He was using portals. He was
It's like Avengers Endgame.
yeah, he was buffering in and out of
Really?
universes.
You should just figure out how to like transport stuff through the portals instead of storing stuff in the portals. That way, like shipping time is like that.
We're getting there. We're still getting there. We're still getting there. The technology isn't quite there yet.
Yeah, I just got a shipping notice. Oh, it's here. Okay.
Yeah, we need more. Where's my shipping notice posts, because that's what brings joy to all of our lives. Correct.
Where's my shipping portal?
Yeah, where's my shipping portal?
We love those.
Yeah,
we love those. We love screen shooting those too.
Is that how you know who's going out last?
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm not saying that we don't post it on. We might have a wall of different names just plastered with comments.
I do not blame you.
I heard that Diego was on Four Horsemen O'Clock and said, don't email. Like even if you're joking, it's not funny and it does tie up his time, and it's like, just stay away.
Yeah, because he got to go through so many emails. I saw some the other day. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you get through all these emails. Like, it's insane.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. So Jesse,
what?
How's it going? How was D&D tonight? Did you guys kill a bunch of bad guys and win the day?
We fended off pride of lionesses, or not a pride of lionesses, but lionesses that were stalking us every night, and we we put the glowy fragment of a dead god in a stone and got a cool telescope.
Okay.
And the guy we were on this mission for, we got back to his house and it was burned and he was dead, and we ran back to our place, and that was kind of it. It was kind of an abrupt, tragic ending to the adventure.
Huh. Okay. All right. Beautimus. What else is going on, guys? Anything that you guys are watching, or anything coming up that you're excited for?
Yeah, me. I'm not a TV guy. I'm not a movie guy.
You're not.
But Halo Season 2 is coming soon, and
what streaming service is that on?
That's on Paramount, isn't it?
Paramount. Yeah, I think it's.
Gotcha.
Oh no, that's Amazon, isn't it? Or is that Paramount?
No, Paramount Plus, I think. Right? Paramount Plus, is that the one?
I think it was Paramount Plus.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, that one. I have them all, so I don't.
I haven't checked that out. Was the first season good? Joe, was
I thought
the first season good? Oh.
I know it got a lot of criticism because it's very different from the games, but I like that.
Yes, very different.
I played all the games, and a show that was just a rerun of the games wouldn't have been as interesting, in my opinion. So I thought it was good because it was different. Mm-hmm. I love the games. Don't get me wrong, and the games are better, of course. But
yes.
But I thought the show was good. But they're doing the Fall of Reach in season 2, which is going to be, I think, a fantastic springboard, for something really cool. It's one of the human colony planets getting attacked by aliens, and the story in the game is that the humans lose. So I'm really interested in seeing how the show is going to play out. The special effects are really good. That Microsoft money really helps.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
They got a few bucks.
It looks great.
I did see somebody
I'm excited for
today that I guess Henry Cavill's been cast as Highlander. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's supposed to be like a remake of the original, or if it's a different take on it, or if it's a different time frame. I don't know.
From what I heard, it was a remake.
Okay.
With him doing it, yeah.
Interesting. So we'll see.
I just finished watching Reacher. Did you guys watch Reacher yet?
I haven't seen the finale, but I'm 5 episodes in, something like that. So it's good series for sure. I think the second season is better than the first.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this season 2 on Netflix of this Motu Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This week?
Is that later this week?
Thursday.
Yep.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully, He-Man's in it more than 5 minutes. So we'll see.
Nate
You
did
know
that
what's-
awesome art for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's cool.
Sure.
I started watching Shrinking on Apple TV, based on
show.
Eurolegions. Were just did an episode last week where they were talking about like TV shows they're watching and that kind of stuff. And John recommended that one on Apple TV. And man, that is good. Like Harrison Ford's fucking amazing. And I mean, Harrison Ford's amazing in everything. Let's just be honest. But like, he's really good in that role. It's a lot of fun. So Len,
I'm not.
Len is telling you not to smack the kitty.
I'm petting her, but then she keeps nuzzling. I just shrug her off because
Len,
she
you
just-
missed it a couple weeks
she wants her
ago.
15 minutes of screen time, apparently.
You missed it a couple weeks ago, Len. Sean went full on Footloose and told his son, no dancing. You're not allowed to dance.
My son came down here with his shoes on, and it's a concrete floor, and he just starts doing some soft shoe. And I'm trying to say something, and all I can hear is the soft shoe. I couldn't focus enough to make my point. And I just turn and I go, stop dancing. Then all of a sudden, I'm John Lithgow to everybody for the rest of my life. I got the hair for it. Jeez. I mean,
good
Oh,
stuff.
that's funny.
What about you, Jesse? You watching anything?
I'm not allowed to talk about the shows I've liked recently because it'll upset you.
All right.
So apparently, if Len and I even mention something, you just mute the chat.
You can talk about whatever you like, but What If was garbage. I mean, if you're going to talk about anything else, I'm good, but What If was garbage. So, but yeah, you talk about whatever you want.
I'm not trying to say it's the best thing that ever existed, but I enjoyed it. It's a lot better than.
I knew you would enjoy it. That's
What do you call that show? the Secret Invasion.
that was garbage.
Oh yeah, that was garbage.
I still hate you guys for making me watch it for this show. The only good thing about it was I could vent about it on here. That was about it.
I'll say I like Reacher. I think it's just I think Reacher is Walker Texas Ranger for today's dads. I'll stand by that.
Maybe.
I don't think it's a bad show.
I never watched Walker Texas Ranger, so I don't get that reference.
It's just
they actually have a new Walker Texas Ranger.
You what?
There's a new show that's with Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh well, I meant just like it's that void.
The
It's
guy
like
from Supernatural's in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not Chuck
You just got
Norris.
this, like, you just got this like badass dude that solves crimes, and I mean the one episode where he's like crying because like the teenage girl ate the last Clark bar. I was like, come on, like what? Come on.
He likes a Clark bar. It was the last one.
Woody Harrelson took it very hard.
If I like
Spoiler alert, she just saw a guy get like obliterated by a car. I think he can let the teenage girl have the candy bar for the night. But no, like I said, I like it. I don't think it's bad.
Had it. She still ate it. He was just upset. You got to let it be known. Just saying.
Len says that him and his wife just finished Spirit School on Netflix. I haven't heard that one. Says it's really good. Anybody heard of that one?
Nope.
That's new to me. I'll have to check it out though. Okay. Anything coming on at the theater? Is there any new movies coming out?
I had to pick up my friend because he's got like a sports car and it's been snowing, so he wasn't going to drive. And I'm like, you're not going to miss D&D because you don't have a ride. So I went and picked him up and took him home. And we were talking because he's usually the guy I see movies with, we were talking, man, I was like, I don't even know what's coming out. I was like, the next thing I can think of that I'm really excited for is Dune, but that's not coming out till March.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that and the Deadpool 3, and that's really all I can think of. I mean, I'm looking at the list of movies that are out there right now, and it looks like a bunch of garbage.
I will tell you, 5th grade and 3rd grade, my 2 kids every day, Dad, we got to go see Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah.
Godzilla X Kong. I don't know where they're marketing this stuff at the elementary schools, but it's crack for those kids right now. And
my son is 7 years old, and he found, during quarantine when they put that one on Max or whatever. And I was just like, I need to watch something we haven't seen before. I'm like, I think they can handle it. And at the time, my son was like, 4, I guess. So then after watching that, he's all about that. And then I tried to take him to see Godzilla -0, and that went nowhere. We had to leave the theater in 10 minutes because he literally got freaked out that Godzilla was harming people instead of like fighting a monster like in the other ones. And like right after the beach sequence, he looks at me, he goes, I really want to go. I'm like, okay. And then I asked him later, and he goes, he was a beast. I didn't like Beast Godzilla. I'm like, so you like it when Godzilla fights other monsters? Yeah. Okay. So then when we saw the trailer to that, and it made him feel better right after having that experience in the theater, that's like his must-see movie of the year on top of Sonic 3 when that one hits. Those 2 movies are like his, I have to see both of these in the theater. And I'm like, I kind of like them. They're great popcorn flicks. So. I watched Footloose last weekend with my son.
Did you bring up your own comment?
Yes, he super chatted. My wife was gonna. He won't super chat us.
Benny's out there. Hey, Benny. He says there's a vampire movie called Abigail that comes out in April. So
is that the one where she's the daughter?
That's the one with the little girl, right?
I don't know.
Isn't there
I saw something where it's like a daughter of Dracula thing.
Yeah, the vampire is a little girl or something. I saw the commercial, but I didn't pay attention.
I think that I saw that when it was called Interview with a Vampire.
I actually want to see this year Nosferatu, the remake of that's coming out. I want to see that one. I think that could be pretty cool. Yeah, the guy that did The Northman and The Witch is directing that one.
Argyle's coming out in February. That looks potentially fun.
Yeah,
that's
what's that one?
With, Henry Cavill.
Bryce Dallas
what's his name? Justin Hammer.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. Yeah, she's like a book writer, and like she writes like about like a James Bond spy type guy. I mean, it doesn't look like great, but it looks fun.
Okay.
Yeah, that Kong Godzilla looks fun. I saw the preview for the Bob Marley movie that like a couple months ago. I'll probably see that, maybe not in theaters, but that looked interesting.
Yeah, I've
got a list of Dune Part 2, Imaginary. That one looks interesting. I thought that was going to be like a cute movie, like with like kids and their imaginary friends, and like kind of like what was it, Inside Out, but it looks like it's like a horror movie where like if you stop paying attention to the imaginary friend, they like come after you or something.
Shit. Sounds like that Winnie the Pooh horror film that was out.
Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that.
For some reason, Disney is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jesse. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's all right. I was gonna say, for some reason, Disney's re-releasing a ton of Pixar movies in theaters. Yeah,
those were the ones that were like quarantine time, I think, and they didn't get to release them properly though. Because like, what was that? Turning Red. I think that one came out in 2020.
Yeah, Turning Red, Soul, Luca.
And Soul was around Christmas that year and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about
Sorry,
the
go ahead, Chris.
Benjamins on that one.
No, I was just thinking, I know the Super Bowl's a couple weeks away, and it used to be, we would watch Super Bowl commercials to get like the big preview for like the summer blockbusters. Is it just that we don't know what's coming, or did really the writer strike really screw it up that bad to where there's not really any...
Yeah.
The writer strike really, I don't want to say screwed everything up, but it really delayed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many animated things coming out, because like animated stuff was allowed to still.
Well, guys,
to an extent.
Listen up, because Lisa Frankenstein is coming out on February 9th. This campy young adult take on Mary Shelley's classic sees a high schooler reanimate a corpse who turns out to be a love interest. What? Yeah, that's right.
Fun.
Sounds like an 80s flick.
Yeah, mark your calendars, February 9th, guys. Okay.
I'll make sure to not go to the theater that weekend. What else we got? Kung
Roadhouse
Fu Panda
remake.
4. Rebel Moon Part 2.
Jake Gyllenhaal as a Roadhouse remake, March 21st. Any interest? No.
I haven't seen the original one yet, so no, not yet.
Goodness.
What? You haven't seen Roadhouse?
Nope. Not for any particular reason. I just haven't seen it.
There's a Ghostbusters movie coming out.
Yep, Frozen Empire.
That looks good.
Yeah.
Civil War. I'm intrigued by that one. It's like modern day, where like America has been broken into a couple of different, or it's breaking into a couple different countries, and that looks interesting. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
I actually want to see the Fall Guy when that one comes out. That one looked ridiculous, but like in a good way.
Yeah,
it had me laughing through the whole trailer.
Furioso. I want to see that. Yeah, like the Fury Road prequel, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be good.
I can skip that easily.
Oh, you didn't like the Fury Road?
I thought it was a decent movie. I think it got way blown out of proportion. The reaction to it.
I thought it was amazing. There's a new Planet of the Apes movie coming out in May.
Yep.
Any interest in that?
Definitely. And I misspoke.
I'm looking to see that.
Is this going to be a continuation of the other ones that were out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a new director, but it's picking up, years after the recent trilogy.
Oh, really? Okay, that's cool. I like that.
I mean, Andy Serkis was like the heart of those movies, so it'll be interesting to see what they do without him.
More monkeys.
And
I misspoke.
Garfield.
I misspoke. There's If for Imaginary Friend is a comedy from John Krasinski, and then there's Imaginary, which is the horror one. So I misspoke.
Oh, gotcha.
Both of them look interesting. I'm sorry.
We forgive you, Jesse.
Well, fellas, it's getting a little late. I got to be up early.
All right, man. You have a good one.
I'm gonna head on out.
Hey, Greg.
I'm
gonna pull up a This Week in Theaters, and then I think we'll probably call it a night too. So, but yeah,
fine. I'll stick around a little longer.
I got him. All right. Let's knock.
Hey, I see one interesting movie for September. There's the animated Transformers 1 prequel. It's supposed to have a very G1 look to it, and all animated. That looks like that could be pretty cool.
Interesting.
I know some people are mad about that one because Peter Cullen's not coming back as Optimus Prime.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
They got Sean to do it.
Yeah.
I only wish they had my phone number.
No, I think it's Hemsworth. I think it's Chris Hemsworth is going to be doing Prime.
Really? That's interesting. All right, folks, we're going back to 1995. And here we are. We're going to January 19th. Here's what we got. starting off, higher learning. People from different walks of life encounter racial tension, rape, responsibility, the meaning of education on a university campus. Well, that's just fun for the whole family. Legends of the Fall. Early 1900s, three brothers and their father living in a remote wilderness of Montana are affected by betrayal, history, love, nature, and war. There's a lot of commas in these so far this week. Next, we have Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. High-level demons collect low-level demons as warriors in an attempt to obtain a key containing the blood of Christ. The key is guarded by immortal warriors called Demon Knights. Okay, then we've got Dumb and Dumber. I think we all know what that is. Nobody's Fool. A stubborn man past his prime reflects on his life of strict independence and seeks more from himself. All right. House Guest, you know. I mean, it's a Sinbad. Can't go wrong with that, right? Let's see. Where are we at? Disclosure. All right.
Demi Moore, right? Was that Demi Moore?
Yep.
Yeah.
Computer specialist, sexual harassment by his former lover turned boss. All right. Then we've got Little Women. You know, this is the next week after the one we did this past one.
Yep.
Little Women is what Jesse went.
Well,
to see.
Disclosure was also in it last time too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Little Women. Then we've got Jungle Book. And finally, rounding out the top 10, we've got Far From Home: The Adventures of Yellow Dog with Angus McCormick. All right. That is just a great top 10. So, I wasn't sharing my screen the whole time, was I?
No.
Nope.
No,
I'm an idiot.
I thought that was
I'm
on
just
purpose.
sitting there reading. I'm reading and doing all this stuff. And yeah. Okay. So here's the
I
top
thought it
10.
was like the memory.
Yeah. So Higher Learning, Legends of the Fall, Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight, Dumb and Dumber, Nobody's Fool, House Guest, Disclosure, Little Women, Jungle Book, and Far From Home: The Adventures of Yellow Dog. And we will start at the top with me. I am going to see. I think I'm gonna go see Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. Yeah, I'm just kind of feeling that right now. So I'm gonna go see Tales from the Crypt. Sean,
I'll join you because that's the only thing on this list that I'm like, okay, like on a whim, I would do it. I guess, yeah.
All right. Jesse, you going 2 weeks in a row to see Little Women?
Nope, I'm going to Legends of the Fall.
Oh, all right. Is that one that you've seen and you like, or is it just one that you're trying, or what?
I've seen it. I don't know if I still own it or not, but I think it's a good movie. I think I didn't get to see it on a big screen. I mean, it's definitely filmed for, big, it was, definitely, epic filmmaking. It's depressing as shit. But it's a good movie.
Right up your alley.
It is though.
All right. Well, that's cool. Who is in that? Let me see. I thought is that Brad Pitt and
Anthony Hopkins.
Who's the third guy?
Aidan Quinn.
Aidan Quinn.
Oh, gotcha.
And
It's got Henry Thomas is in it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's about these three brothers growing up and like their tense relationship with their father and like the women in their lives, and it's yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
All right, I might have to check that out. Joe, what are you seeing?
Well, I've only seen 2 movies on this list, Demon Knight and Dumb and Dumber. It seems like Demon Knight might be a little crowded, so I guess I'll go see Dumb and Dumber.
There are many seats, Joe. There are many seats.
Come on, Joe.
I guess you can't share my popcorn with the hole at the bottom. All right.
Damn it.
That was not a pretzel stick. Holy shit.
Greg, what are you seeing?
I'm sharing popcorn with you, Curtis.
Yes.
I'm gonna
All
sit
right.
down.
All right. Okay, Chris, you got the last one. What are you saying?
Oh, I gotta go see Dumb and Dumber. I mean, there's so many classic lines out of that movie that he must work out. I mean, there's a bunch of funny little lines. I'm a big fan of stupid comedy, and that'll be on list 90 minutes.
All right, let's see weeks here. So Dumb and Dumber was on its 5th week. Nothing was really too long. Everything was single digits. So let's see if there's anything lingering on here. Lion King was still hanging tough at 32 weeks. Was 14. Forrest Gump 29 weeks was at 19. So,
Street Fighter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
Street Fighter hanging in there after 4 weeks, only down to 16. All right, folks. That was it. Before we go, what does everybody got going on? Anybody got any shows they're going to be on? Any toy shows they're going to? Any things that they've got ready to present on their Instagrams or face places or anything like that? We'll start at the bottom and wrap our way around. Joe, what do you got? You got a Joe Gonzalez live tomorrow night on a Saturday night?
I don't. I'm traveling this weekend, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have literally nothing going on for at least a week. So mine's easy. Nothing.
There you go. All right. Greg, you got anything going on? Anything people should be aware of?
No, not really. Just going to be working hard getting shipments out. That's it.
Beautiful.
That's pretty much it. And I'll probably catch you guys at ZoloCon with some of you guys.
Beautiful. I won't be there, but I know Jesse will. Len says he must be talking to the rest of you guys. Says you guys suck later. Okay.
He said that like 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, there you go. Chris, what you got going on?
So my local comic shop, which I love, Boom Comics out here in Connecticut. We have an artist signing on Sunday. I'm taking my boys to Keith Williams, who is an anchor and an artist. He did a lot of Amazing Spider-Man, a little bit of Spectacular Spider-Man. He did some Transformer stuff in the 80s. So I'm going to get him to sign a couple things. So that's what I'm going to this weekend. Anybody in New England, if it's not snowing, come on out to Boom Tube Comics and Keith Williams. He's a nice guy.
Keith Williams.
Beautiful. Okay.
I know that name.
Sounds good. Jesse, I know we've got a kind of a big show going on Sunday, right? We got somebody.
Oh, we do?
Who's our guest? We had somebody come.
Yes. So Sunday night on Shooting the Shelf is the one and only Eric Treadaway, sculptor and head honcho-ish type guy person over at that Four Horsemen Studios place. So we've got him on. We had Cornboy at the beginning of last year, and we got Eric on this year. So hopefully we'll get Jim on the beginning of next year if we can. I don't know if I'll have a lot to talk about Jim. He seems like a really cool guy, but I don't know sports that well. But I know he likes dogs, so I don't know if we can talk about dogs for 2 hours, but we'll make it work.
I could definitely talk sports. I think the big thing is just getting Jim on because he doesn't do a whole lot of shows and stuff. So, Cornboy is the easy one. Cornboy will do anything, Like I've seen him on a million shows. Eric, he does a few shows, but yeah, Jim's a little bit hard to get. I think I've maybe seen him on one show. I don't even think I've seen him on Jeremy's show. Now that I think about it. Unless it was like a Four Horsemen event or something, but
yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. I have faith in you, Jesse. You got the first
we'll
two
get
horsemen.
We'll get Greg to go hang out with him and be there with him, and
there you go.
keep the conversation going.
There you go, Greg. Put in a good word for us. We need Jim at the beginning of next year. So
I'll see what I can do.
Cool. Sean, you guys got anything coming up?
No, we didn't have any plans, so nothing to look forward to at the moment. But I will admit, in all honesty, after this episode, he is mine.
Yes.
Nice.
You guys converted him.
I had money on that gift card, and I just kept going. If I want one, he's the one I want the most right now.
Is it the regular version or
it's the regular?
Retro
it's
card?
not the retro card. I figure I wanted to open them and have them on the shelf. If I got the retro card, I'm gonna leave it on card because of the nostalgia. So at least I'll be able to take them out.
The retro card has the like the regular wraps, right? But then the classics version has like the armor on the wrist. Is that correct?
Yep, and gloves.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm easy either way. This is the one that I had my heart set on most when they first unveiled them. So I was like, I literally just paid $1.25 for Storm Shadow. I'm really not that upset.
Nice.
So
hey man, if we did nothing tonight, we got you to dip your toes back in. So.
I'm not getting rid of him, no matter what. He's one that it's like I've been wanting him. He's staying.
Yeah.
Greg. Damn you, Greg.
Yeah. Greg,
Chris, why do we bring you on?
Because of the weather today, Greg, you may not have sold a car, but you sold a Joe. So
you did sell a Joe. Yes. Well, you actually sold a Cobra, but yes.
That's true. All right. And I just, I think I might be backstage for Purple Gang tomorrow, helping them out. Sunday, I'll be with Jesse doing our fun thing. And studio Sunday, 1 p.m. If you're in the Cabal, you want to paint or you just want to hang out with us, let us know. 1 p.m. Eastern. We do the studio on Sundays. We will be in there painting and having a good time. So that is it. So until next time, we will see you on the OffWorld.